Nerdle again, Alex.
Oh yeah.
Been back at it.
You you run into those Frenchies yet?
Oh yeah, they're still there, but
Oh my
that's
god.
it's hard to get. Like, are you playing the 2.0 version now, or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
tough.
like you hit somebody who's like a hardcore French cinephile and they just like hit all
Yeah,
those French films and I'm like, I know
there's no way
like
out.
one French filmmaker and he makes just like basically softcore porn. Like I don't know where these guys are pulling this shit,
Yeah,
but
and my trick was always to just do the Paris J. Tame, which is like a short film
ah,
collection of people,
yeah,
because then you can try to
smart.
Cohen out. That was my own move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gosh, yeah, that's smart. But the problem with that is if you play that card too early and they still have like,
and they
you
just
know, two strikes on it,
because
yeah, it's
you could
gone.
do any
You're
French
fucked.
actor too, or any French
Yeah.
filmmaker. So it's a double edged sword. But like genres, dude, it like adds a whole level to like brain function of like
Yeah.
processing.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough. Like with thinking about it in terms of like genre or filmmaker stuff too now, but it's still fun.
What kits do you have set up for yourself?
I
Do you
was
just do the
testing them out.
standard?
I did like just some genre ones to try it out, like sci-fi, and
Mm,
then crime seems to be the easiest because there's just so
crime
many
is so
crime
easy.
movies.
Yeah.
And I tried to do the James Bond one because I just watched them all, and I was like, I can kind of link some back. But that one was fucking tough. I didn't even win by
Yeah.
the condition. I just won because of like attrition. But
Right.
because you can't use the James Bond actors to link. You have to use all the other people. So it's
Right.
tough. It's a challenge. But
It definitely
it's a good
adds a new
test.
spin to it. It's fun. I'd like to try the battle royale version just to see
Yeah,
how that
I
works.
wish it was like open, but I guess you have to
Yeah.
have a whole setup with like 16 people or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's fun though. Yeah, it would be cool. But welcome back everybody to the stream. Couple weeks break between directors. Feels nice to get back to it. Plus,
Yes,
brand
sir.
new movie. It's capturing the world by storm. Feels good that it's getting the attention it deserves, in my opinion. It's nice to see the hype levels around it. Talking some Sinners. Easter weekend Sinners, baby. Nice timing.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy about this one is uh first off walking into the theater and seeing that police are posted up because of the Minecraft shenanigans. It's like this
Oh
is
wow, they're ready.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you for these middle schoolers
it's got
vomiting
it
on the
like.
floor and bringing live animals to the
It's like
theater.
what time is chicken jockey? We need to know exactly what
Yeah.
time chicken jockey drops. Be ready for it.
So that's fun. But yeah, my theater was fucking packed. This is the first movie I've been to in a long time that is packed. I think since probably the last Mission Impossible that the theater was actually full of people.
Dang. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And
Yeah,
this is
mine
in
was too.
Texas. People don't give a shit about movies where I'm from here, at least in this part of Texas.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Was it the western of it? What was it? Was it the Cougs?
I think it's Kugler. I think he's drawn an audience because there was a lot of teenagers. In fact, there was a boy sitting next to Sarah and I, and he had a fidget toy. And the sixth grade teacher in me wanted to stand up and go, "Give it back, give it, come on, give it to me," because he just kept clacking it.
It was a click one.
And like
Oh god.
during musical sequences, he was like clacking it, but he was off beat. I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking kill this kid. And his brother sitting next to him didn't say shit. And I'm just like, don't.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
that's almost as
Etiquette,
bad
man.
as having
Theater
the phone
etiquette.
out.
I would be pissed.
Maybe Texas
Yeah.
is worse though, because my theater it doesn't have like that bad every time for me. Maybe Texas people
No.
they honestly they just don't give
they
a
just
shit.
don't care. They
Yeah.
don't. And
They
then I
come
mean, there
in
was a
drunk and
pack of
stuff.
teenagers in there too. So I think it was Ryan Coogler, and just I don't know. I guess maybe the Easter weekend of it all. All the kids were out of school. Parents were like, "Go do something."
That's
I don't
true.
know.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like a lot of people like knew what they were watching. But there were a
Mhm.
few people halfway through that I could tell were like, wait a minute, what? Like when the shit went sideways, you know? I guess like we'll just preface it with like spoiler review, I assume, right? Just in case.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, it reveals it in the trailers, I would say, if you watched any of them. The big twist, I guess, of the movie or what the movie's really doing. But what did you guys think about that? I mean, I'm assuming you guys knew, right, when you were going in?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it like says that in the like description. I'm pretty sure when
Yeah.
we were doing like this draft, like before there was even like a trailer or anything, the description I read was that it's about vampires.
Hmm.
So like, I mean, that's why I almost picked it up for the draft, but I think you got it before me.
Yeah,
and I almost
I
traded
really
it.
wanted that
Nobody
movie.
wanted it too.
Yeah, I wanted
put
it,
it
but
out.
you wanted my fucking Final Destination for it, and I can't
Yeah.
give that up.
You think it was a good decision now, looking back?
No,
Or?
I should have taken it because
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite. It is my favorite movie that came out this year so far. So
Yeah, I'd
I
say so
don't know.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried it didn't catch on, but I mean the ratings are insane too. It's like
They are.
98,
I saw it.
99. So I should have put it in my horror slot, honestly, but
Should have had more faith, man.
yeah, honestly, I should have just banked on the Cougs, man. I don't know, but we'll see how it does. I mean, I think word of mouth is pretty crazy for this movie at the moment, so I hope it does
Yeah.
pretty well in the next few weeks too.
And I think it might help cater to at least the middle school audience and teenage audience. Rod Wave has like a new song that came out, and I know all my sixth graders love Rod Wave, so I think
I
that
don't
kind
even
of
know
like
who that is, so that would
some
make
rapper
sense.
didn't know who he was until this year. So
Okay.
when they added him to my playlist for my
That's
sixth grade
huge.
playlist,
What's the Minecraft
So-
sitch at your school? It's got to be crazy, right? Like,
they are. Yeah, they're insane about Minecraft. Today they had a bunch of those Minecraft toys, McDonald's toys, and all this bullshit, and I was like, guys, toys up or I destroy them. And they're like, why would you destroy them? I'm like, well, because you're not doing my work. You're playing with your
we're
toys.
mining
So
these.
that's yeah, it's annoying.
Melt them down, bring in like a blowtorch, and just blowtorch them in front
Yeah.
of
Let me show you what plastic does. Quick
Do you
science
just-
experiment.
Yeah.
Do you just hear like
Yeah.
random chicken jockeys in the hallway
Yes.
and stuff?
Yep.
I would imagine.
As
so.
they're leaving my classroom, they shout out Chicken Jackie and yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
This
sure
is
I
the
saw a
world we
kid
live in.
walking out of the theater with like plushies, like Minecraft, like a creeper plushie and shit.
Oh,
So yeah, it's everywhere.
Hmm.
We're
I did
infected.
to bring this back to the Sinners conversation, I told one of my friends, I said, Easter can wait, go watch Sinners. And he texted back, he said, 24 hours sooner, you would have got me. We were debating between Sinners and Minecraft, and we went and saw Minecraft. I was like, what have you done? You know? Yeah. Like, you're a grown ass man and you went and saw Minecraft. He's like, it was terrible and it smelled awful in there. I was like, yeah, because it's either middle schoolers or 25 to 30-year-old neckbeards who haven't showered because they've been playing
Yeah.
Minecraft for. Anyway.
Yeah, I did see it.
That's funny.
My theater there was no popcorn flying, but there were cheers and applause. And it
Yeah.
was one of the first times where I actually felt like out of touch in a way.
Yeah.
Of, like watching a movie, I was like, oh, I don't even understand what this crowd like is thinking. You know, like
I guess
Mm.
I just don't get the hype. I mean, I've been playing Minecraft since it like fucking came out, but I don't think I would cheer when certain things happen.
memes, bro. Like it's a meme movie. Like it's not real,
Yeah.
and
For sure.
it's like a thing that you have to go do and then show that you did it to your friends. It's not even
I
like
guess.
Yeah.
it's not even like
no,
a watching
that's-
experience. It's weird.
That's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like interesting because like I'm not on social media. I didn't go see the Minecraft movie. I've like heard about the theaters, but like I don't know any of this, and I'm kind of glad because like that movie looked like fucking garbage. So like
It's
I don't
pretty
know,
bad.
just the fact that like this is going on for that movie is like kind of depressing.
Yeah,
If
I was just saying my review is it either saved or killed cinema, you know, and I can't tell which one it is because
my,
it brought
My
a lot
favorite
of young
review-
people to
Crazy.
movies,
Like, it
but not
saved
in a
it,
good
but
way,
the
I'd say.
process changed it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
let me see. I
Well, it's like, did
screenshotted
Marvel
a
start
review
this?
of it.
Did Marvel like begin the end? You know.
I don't know, man, because like the Minecraft generation, I mean, it's all ages, I would say, but like this specific is like almost after Marvel. That's really getting captured by the Minecraft movement, I'd say, for the movie, at least. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm
It's just
wrong.
like a weird cultural thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
This kind of like epitomizes it for me where it's, dude, it's a kid's movie. They're going to love it. Well, yeah, my dog loves eating shit, but I'd be an asshole if I fed it to him. So it's like, yep, that's true. I mean, the kids probably are eating this Minecraft stuff up, but like,
Yeah.
Oh,
do you
yeah.
want to say, hey, kiddo, this is cinema, you know?
But it's
I don't
also
know.
like it's funny that it's made by the dude who made Napoleon Dynamite, because in the same
Yeah.
way, it's like when that came out, it was like you have to see Napoleon Dynamite, or else you weren't like
Right.
you didn't really get it. You didn't get what was going
Definitely.
on. So like, I think you do just have to see the Minecraft movie when you're this age, or else you're just like you're not in it.
Not in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Part of it. Yeah.
that's what it is. Anyways, back to Sinners, boys. Another
Yeah.
movie that deserves to be seen on the big screen.
Definitely.
Did you guys notice the aspect ratio changes in the movie when you watched it?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Really, but to be honest, I checked like the day before, and like for 3 different show times, like throughout the afternoon and night, literally like the entire theater was full except for like the first 2 rows. So and like at the Alamo, it's not as bad. I had done it before, so I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try it. But yeah, it was pretty bad, and I was literally in the front row.
Oh,
So
don't do
like,
it.
kind of reduced the quality, but like, because like, dude, I feel like there was a really cool like soundscape thing going on, and obviously just like the music, but like where I was sitting, the audio was just like
It's not hitting you.
it was just like different than you would get if you were in the center of the theater
Yeah,
because like
definitely.
the like speakers right in front of me, so it almost was like distorted most of the time. But the music was fine, but like some of the dialogue was just like kind of distorted. But that
Yeah.
kind of sucked because like
Yeah.
I guess like to answer your question, no, I did not notice the aspect ratio because like honestly, getting out of the theater, me and my girlfriend were just like, man, my fucking eyes hurt. Because, like, being that
Yeah.
close was like
It's rough,
just
man.
fucking with
It's
your
not
eyes.
worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When does
No,
it
but
happen?
it was mostly widescreen, and then it just kind of shifts between that and full screen every once in a while. I think mostly for the dance sequences and whatnot, it does. I think for some other sequences too, though. I don't know. I didn't fully understand some of the decisions for when it was shifting, but I did notice it. But also, it just kind of made me question widescreen and like if I like
Yeah.
widescreen. But I
Did
don't
you
know.
see it in IMAX by chance?
I did indeed. Yes, I did.
Yeah. See, I didn't see it in IMAX, and I don't know if it's different just because my screen was smaller, and that's why I maybe didn't recognize it because I didn't notice it
Maybe.
at all.
Yeah, it was doing some crazy shifts in IMAX, so maybe
Yeah.
it was just more extreme.
Man, maybe later this week I'll just go see it again in IMAX.
Kind of want
I
to
would
see it
love to go
again.
see it
I've
again.
been
Get an
thinking
actual,
about
like,
it.
good seat.
Yeah,
I had that thought like as soon as you meet the Smokestack twins, I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna go watch
Dude,
this again.
right?
Like,
And like actually
That's like 5
my
minutes into the
kind of
movie.
main gripe
I know,
with the
I
movie
know. That's
is
early.
that
I was
like
like, yeah.
I feel like there could have been a tighter edit. That's why I initially was at 5 stars, and then like there were a couple things that just bothered me. But like that was like one of the things. I feel like at the very beginning of the movie, it kind of does the like 1 year later or like a different time jump thing,
Mhm.
like twice.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could have cut one of those, like specifically the flash forward in time when he walks into the church, when it's like after the night and all of the vampire shit has happened.
Mhm.
And you could have just like you could have just started off with the twins because I feel like after that it focuses in on them and they're buying the building that they do the juke joint in,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
mill. And I feel like you could have just started with that because like already like you got two fucking. I didn't even like. I watched it with my girlfriend, and after the movie, for like an hour, we talked about like so many other things. For not once did we question whether it was necessary to have Michael B. Jordan as twins.
I know, right?
And I'm just like,
Well-
like later on, I'm just like, I mean, yeah, fuck it. Like they probably, like I know that you have to like shoot a lot of things twice, but realistically, like you're probably saving money if you had casted a different actor. You know, like his
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
probably
mean,
the cost, especially if you shoot digital. But I guess like
I'm not usually into like that because like it's like don't go through the extra effort when you could just have like another good actor. But
Yeah.
I will say that this one
I
I think is
actually-
maybe the best, if not one of the best or most successful
Yeah.
versions.
But dude, even like at the very beginning, that first scene, they even like hand the cigarette to each other,
That's
and I
what
feel
got
like
me.
it's just them just like, yeah, dude, we're doing these cool effects, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just-
That it's
mean,
funny you
it
said that.
worked
That's
for
what
me.
Sarah said. She's like, "Do you think they just did that to flex that they were doing cool stuff?"
I said the same thing in the
Absolutely.
theater. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't
Yeah,
too much
yeah.
of that after that though, which is why I thought it was better. Because like a lot of the time they are just flexing that kind of stuff, and they kind of just get it over with, and then they're like, I don't know,
Yeah.
they're pretty separate for
Yeah.
most of the movie, honestly. Just like
They are.
shot
Yeah,
shot
they are.
based.
And I think it's a good like. I mean, they could be the same character, it's just like the duality of the two different. Like you have the calm, cool, collected, kind of more aggressive, more damaged one, and then you have the one who makes the impulsive decisions. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
like that
they played
dichotomy.
off each other nicely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I would
Dude,
say
just
one
watch
of Michael B. Jordan's best performances.
Hmm.
I don't know. He just fucking gets. I
Okay,
especially
yeah.
loved him as Stack when he gets turned like vamp, and he's like partying
Yeah.
with the vampires and whatnot. That was
Mhm.
fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like also what I enjoyed was how like obviously Dusk Till Dawn. This is like a more mature version of
I was
Dusk Till
just gonna
Dawn.
say, I just watched that last night, and like,
Yeah.
there's so many fucking similarities between the two movies. Like, it's
Hell
basically
yeah.
the same thing, except like
Yeah.
a little bit tweaked, you know?
It's I would say even more horny than Dusk Till Dawn, which I appreciated. I thought
Wow.
it was like super like saucy,
Not as kinky
and
though.
it was funny
Well, maybe.
sitting next to the people and like when Haley Steinfeld spits in his mouth and the lady
Yeah.
next to me was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my, chill. But yeah,
I mean, there's some toe
I like that.
sucking in Dusk Till Dawn, you know, with Tarantino.
That's
so
true.
it
That's
gets there.
true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like I agree with you, Joe. Though, like I would say the biggest issue with the movie is the pacing. Like I think it's great, but it's just not perfect in my opinion. And some examples I gave. Oh, go ahead.
I was just basically just gonna reiterate that there's a tighter cut in there, but
Somewhere.
like, I didn't really know what. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not
I
all the
think
stuff at the end. I would cut it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, but there are things like that aren't hinted at that come around at the end too, and stuff like that with the people that are coming to kill them in the morning. Some stuff like that, but also like there's some running in and out of the barn that just kind of feels unnecessary or like for reasons unknowable to the plot. You know, like
Mhm.
and then maybe like the shootout at the end, I thought maybe could have been pushed forward a little bit, or maybe kind of like stretched out a little bit when they actually bust into the barn. But
Yeah.
those are just
I
a
would
few
say
of the-
stretched out personally. I did feel like that needed a bit more of like a punch to it, that end part.
It
Yeah,
was
a
Yeah.
little more like build
I
up
feel
to the
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like they
hugeness.
almost wanted to like separate it into like two different fight scenes, like with the vampires, but then in the morning with like KKK shit. And
Right.
that's
Mhm.
why they maybe like, I don't know. But realistically, like if you wanted to make that longer, there's like a lot of other stuff that you could have cut if you were worried about time. Like, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's already like a pretty long movie, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It moves though. It feels
It
pretty
does.
good.
The pacing was actually pretty well. I mean, the whole first half is just introducing you to characters, and it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't stop, and it didn't feel like it dragged for me. Like every character you
Honestly,
met, you're like on board with them. They're fun.
Yeah.
You're,
Yeah, very
I don't know.
personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the only time that I felt like it could have moved forward, it like immediately did. It was basically like when they realize that there's like vampires, and then they go in the house, and they like it's the montage of them getting all the weapons and shit, and then doing the fucking thing homage with the garlic and fucking
Right.
just like I don't know. After that, you find out that the one woman is like worried about her husband and her daughter, and she's just like stewing in there, and they're just like waiting until dawn. And I'm just like, I know that you're supposed to like feel the anticipation, but I'm just like, at that point, I'm kind of just like, all right, let's get to fucking fighting some
Yeah.
vampires.
Somebody's
and then
gotta
it'll
open the
immediately
door.
Started, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, all right, cool,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Right on.
Come on
Right on
in.
time.
Yeah.
yeah,
I also like how there's no mention of vampires. Like that. I mean, other movies you have it hint at it and stuff.
Yes.
So it's nice that they just don't at all, and they don't
That-
really. They
Or
kind of just
the-
expect you
what's
to
it-
know vampire stuff up into a point where I think it betrays it a little bit, and then one of the spiritual characters kind of over explains a lot of stuff. But I
Yeah.
kind of like how it's like breaking convention and just doing its own thing. I think that's
See,
nice.
That's what I was telling Sarah about. What was nice about how you introduce every character, and they felt intentional. Like the witch from the Louisiana Wiccan, I don't know what you want to call her, but she does the
Yeah.
voodoo shit.
Yeah.
It like normally they just kind of like, oh, she does voodoo shit, and then when it comes up that these are vampires, you kind of can expect her to be the one to know the information needed. You don't have to be like, they don't have to spend an extra like 5 minutes just being like, well, what are these things? How do we do this?
Oh, I
She
wasn't
kind of,
sure
like,
it was
does
this
that
thing, and then
expo-
I actually figured it out. It's a vampire. It's like okay,
Right.
Like,
So
I kind of
that's
like that
why
you
it
didn't say
felt-
anything about it, but that's just
Yeah.
on first watch.
So I just felt like the characters were, I don't know, kind of intentional, and it kind of worked for
Oh,
me.
yeah. All the
for sure. They
characters.
all stood out.
Yeah, like also I guess to combine like both of what you two said, like even when they first showed like the vampire dude, he's like running away from the like Native Americans.
Mhm.
But like
Yeah.
he's also like fucking like on fire because he's in the sun.
Yeah.
So like I feel like you're just supposed to know that like oh this dude's a fucking vampire because like
Yeah.
we know what like vampire lore is like as viewers. And
Mhm.
this dude's just like fucking on fire walking up here. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's obvious he's a fucking vampire,
Yeah.
Has to
I
be
f-
invited in
right.
immediately, like sets that
Yeah.
up immediately. Yeah.
I feel like that's ultimately why he or they chose to put that church scene at the beginning. Is like they needed some type of like hint that there was going to be some weird spiritual angle with with like
Mhm.
vampirism or whatever.
Yeah.
It eventually gets
I kind
to.
of liked that.
Yeah, I
Are you
like
saying
that.
you didn't
No,
need that?
I liked it. I just like I could see the issue with not having that scene at the beginning where it's just harsh cut to man on fire running. And then like I'm just saying some people didn't know because I feel like I did see some like faces turn in the theater to be like, what the fuck is Lilia? Like what are we
Yeah.
watching? Like so it's
Well,
cool that, but I think it might break some people's brains.
when that first part, when he walks into the church and there's that jump scare, I know that was like that turned Sarah to be like, "What the
Great.
fuck is this actually about?" Like you didn't tell me
Yeah.
this was a horror movie. I was like, I
Right.
know.
Yeah,
Dude,
That's
it's
the
I
fun
love.
part.
Because like
Yeah.
after watching From Dusk Till Dawn, they actually do that effect, like with the quick flashes.
Oh yeah.
But it's like in a
been a while.
different situation. It's not
Mhm.
for like the vampire shit. It's when Quentin Tarantino like fucking
Yeah.
rapes and murders
Rapes and murders that bitch.
shit, like the hostage, yeah. But in this instance, even though I feel like that scene could have been cut, I did like the effect because they're so quick, like cuts. And really, the only
It's
things that you
assaulting.
see are like the red eye.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that was just so well done because you already got like the red eyes from the fucking story at the very beginning,
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel like it was good. It just like could have been utilized in a different way.
Yeah.
Um,
Feel that.
I-
I liked how it was. I think for the most part too is whenever the preacher was saying the word God or Lord and stuff like that, it was like that's when it would jolt
Yeah.
and like
yeah.
kind of hints at like maybe this guy's a vampire. That's at least what I was thinking, as he's wandering in. But
Definitely, because
Okay,
I mean,
too,
they
yeah.
invite him in the beginning, like he
Right.
says, "Sammy, come in" or
Come
whatever.
on
So
in.
you're just kind of like, "Oh, is he?"
Yeah.
like, what's this guy up to?
Yeah.
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 But realistically, are they just drawing parallels?
I would say the thing I also struggled with was like some of the references are a bit direct. And like I wonder like in a postmodern world that we live in of like meta filmmaking of like 100 years of movies, is it like is it okay to just like riff and just like say that it's I'm inspired by that and I just did it my way like and I'm like kind of thinking like if you do it well and you do it a little bit different and like
Yeah.
you modernize it. I'm here for it, but it's hard to like for me to give it a 5 star when it does kind of just like rip some stuff. I would say, but
It definitely does. I mean, it's definitely Dust Till Dawn is a straight up like instead of a club for vampires, it's a club for anti-vampires, and the vampires want in. So it's just kind of I don't know. It is definitely I'm okay with it just
Holy
because
shit.
I think
Probably on
like
the run, like
you have inspirations, and I think if you don't use those inspirations,
right.
what's the point of having them? You know?
And for me,
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm thinking like as long as you own it and you're still doing it your own way, that's kind of what's important. Where it's like you acknowledge it. But it's like, hey, we've seen this before. We're gonna show you it differently. I'm down with that. But I don't remember shit from Dusk Till Dawn, dude. Like that must
Oh, yeah.
be those references must be fuck because like
well, dude,
none
like,
of that
the plot is,
registered
like,
with me.
like it's so similar. Basically, the plot of From
Really?
Dusk Till Dawn is like these two
It is.
brothers are like rob a fucking bank and they're
Yeah.
like on their way down to Tijuana, and they basically cross the Mexican border with this like family, and then they just have to stop at this bar because they're meeting up with Carlos or some shit in the morning, and it turns out the whole fucking bar is full of vampires.
Yeah.
We're just
It's
missing
So,
the
like,
guy
halfway
screaming
through.
about pussy outside the doors.
Realistically, it's like in this movie, you've got two brothers who probably just like robbed the fucking mob, and they're like
Mhm.
on the run back in their hometown in Mississippi, opening a bar, basically.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Vampires are attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Or,
Okay, that
you know,
like
the vampires.
kind of rings a bell. The whole like Tijuana bar stuff that kind of rings a bell, but
I guess
It's like
it's
a
I don't
just
know.
bar.
I guess it's like with Coogler, like he's a young man, and like he
Yeah.
grew up watching Tarantino movies, like we all
Yeah.
did, and like he's
Mhm.
making movies now, so he's riffing on one layer of like it. So like I guess to me it's fine, but it's just when you know the links, it's hard to like look past them. I'd say.
Well,
That's
I would
fair.
say what's nice about this too is he doesn't try to Tarantino it too much to where it's like he's trying to have that like quip dialogue or these fancy
he's
like
doing his own thing.
jargon and words that Tarantino just can just like. He's a poet when he writes it. Not saying that Coogler isn't great with it, but like the dialogue in Tarantino is quick, it's sharp, you know. So it's not like a full on where you have those. I think Hit and Run is the worst example of like a Tarantino ripoff. That's Jack Shepard's movie where you can tell he loves Tarantino and he's trying to do the dialogue as well as the like antics, you know, and like
snappy
the
cinematography
sudden
and stuff.
violent things and the like very questionable conversations that people have, questioning like super sensitive subjects and trying to be edgy. So I think if it's done tastefully, like kind of like what Noah was saying, if it's done it in their own lens, I think it's okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, for someone like Sarah, who when we got out of the movie, she hadn't seen Dusk Till Dawn. She's like, it reminds me a lot of Django. And I was like, well, I'm glad you said that because so
Yeah.
I mean, there's some
Sure.
Django stuff at the end. It feels like there too.
yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
I mean, it is like he kind of just morphs the plot, but also I feel like this is just a far better movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so.
Which I don't know. And it's also just like in any form of art, like you're gonna take the people who influence you, and then like that is going to mold your style. And I guess
Yeah.
it's just like a question of like how far is too far.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, but I don't know. Ultimately, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
In this
Yeah.
instance, I don't think anything's wrong. You know.
Yeah, and I think the
Right.
audiences
It didn't
agree.
cross the line.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I just want to. I made like just the references I made on the first watch through is like obviously it's kind of riffing on the old tale of like selling your soul to the devil at the crossroads, you know, for the guitar
sir.
or for how to play,
Mhm.
you know, or whatever, which is cool. But the thing that scene was the most overt to me, where they're eating the garlic, but then he riffs on it where it's like the dude has he's like the dead body or whatever is just like a drunk guy in wine, or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. Like,
Yeah.
so it's fun. Interview with a Vampire. Did you stay till the mid credits, right? I assume.
No, I didn't know there was any such thing. So
With
Damn.
the blues player.
Yeah.
Because I did stay for the mid credit.
There's a mid. I think there's an end one that I didn't stay for, but the mid credits is
Oh,
like very story heavy. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Neither
tell
of
me
you
I
watched
missed
it?
a lot.
Well, no, but
There's a
don't
reveal
know.
at the end.
There's a reveal. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
What did
I
it
mean, do you wanna-
reveal? Tell me.
So
Yeah.
it flashes to like 1992 or 3 or something like that, and
Mhm.
Sammy's really old and he's playing at a club.
Mhm.
And I think he's played by like a jazz legend in real life, and then in
Yeah,
walks
funny guy.
in Stack and
and Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld,
Mhm.
and they're like decked out full 90s like fucking like they're
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
fly. And then
Yeah.
they just like sit down and like tell him that he
That
can
got,
like
the fucking ring, like a hand,
The
like
stack,
it's
like
fucking Brack knows. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
he's looking
It was
good.
awesome.
And then
that's
he's like,
cool.
you can like live forever with us if you want, like because we're like free of whatever that dude Jack O'Connell's like clutches or whatever, and we're just like
Mhm.
living our best vamps lives. And I think he just
Yeah.
says like no, like he's
But you
like
can
I
tell,
forget what he
like,
says
this
exactly, but
Whatever.
are kind
Mhm.
of
I think he
not into it though. The vampires, based on their dialogue, you can tell like they would rather have just either had everybody turn into vampires or just like not have been turned into vampires because clearly they miss a lot of people that were in their
Yeah.
lives. That's like part of it.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I
a good
mean-
because he says like, do you remember that night, that day? Like I think it was the best day of my life or something like that before everything went down. And then he's like, do you agree to Stack? And he said that's the last day I saw my brother, so yeah, I agree. And then it like flashes to both of them looking at the sun. I think it's
Yeah,
crazy. Like he
the
put it in the mid
sunrise and all
credits.
that.
Yeah, because
Damn.
I watched people walk out too, and I just like sat there like absorbing for a second, and
was
then it
about
just
to
like
walk
played,
out.
and
Same.
I'm like, fuck, okay, like
Weird.
yeah,
So there was
it's
something
pretty
at the
crazy.
very end then too, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I guess
didn't know
so. Yeah, I didn't stay for that, but he's got the Marvel in him, man. He can't get rid of that Black
Man.
Panther.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
That's kind of weird. But sure.
Fucking
whatever.
Return to the King in this bitch. 16 endings.
But seriously, it changes the ending a lot.
Yeah, for
it
sure.
kinda does,
But that's like where Interview with the Vampire came for me, where it's like weird like you're
Flash
going through
forward in time.
generations of time, yeah, with like living vamp shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And
They did
the
that a
outfits
lot
too.
in, like, the fucking show too.
Yeah.
The Interview with the Vampire show.
I gotta watch that one honestly.
I mean, it's fine, but to be honest, This is not meant to be in a derogatory way at all. It is literally the gayest piece of media I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's
But
That's
it's not
from
meant
watching
in
the
meant in
movie.
any
It
kind of
seems like
derogatory
that
way.
too.
It's just the truth.
Yeah, no, that's fair, 100%. Some of the other
It's from the sports material.
Yeah, some of the other references for Sinners though, Night of the Living Dead was big. We watched that one a few
Mhm.
Mhm.
years back. Holy fuck, what is time?
Dude, I even got some Gladiator at the end when he's seeing the chick
Oh
when
wow,
he's
yeah,
like shot by the KKK.
that's true. Yeah, I didn't. That's cool. Hmm. There was the Shining shot. I don't know if you noticed that one where Stack turns and it's like he's at the door and it's the angled up when Jack Nicholson's at the door. He's got like
Yeah.
it's the Shining shot,
Mm.
and where it's like he's going mad inside. So it's
Mhm.
definitely there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys caught it, but there was like so much like Star Wars in this movie too, just in general. I was like, there is Star Wars in this movie. First off, like the red and the blue. I mean, that's just like direct, like evil and
Okay.
good, two sides of like the balance of like the twins and whatnot. And then like immediately, like for me, the references are nicely like hidden, but it opens with a shot of the sun, and there's like this lens flare that happens with the
Almost
shot.
two sons.
It's two suns, and I'm like, this is like clearly like a man that loves Star Wars, and I'm just like, this is like that's what I'm talking about, like the meta layers of filmmaking now that we're at. It's like you can track some of these thoughts, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see that at the beginning, but I didn't really. It didn't make me think of Star Wars, but
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that, you know.
Two suns, that makes you think, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
The two sons thing, yeah, that's pretty big. I just saw Smoke and Stack as like, these are their colors to fit their archetype or whatever type of
Yeah,
thing.
that too.
Yeah,
Cool and hot.
that's cool
Yeah.
though. Damn,
Yeah,
I
and
wish.
then-
Yeah.
And then Coogler mentions The Faculty. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie The Faculty. It's a Rodriguez movie.
Yeah.
Sick movie. 90s, like high school. It's got Elijah Wood and like the town's getting taken over by aliens. That's a Matt special for me, but it's just he directly referenced that one, and it's just so cool to like have like people who like are
Yeah.
our age making this shit. It's just a cool feeling.
I know he said Faculty and Dust Till Dawn were the two biggest influences. I haven't seen Faculty, but they're both Rodriguez films, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe I should watch that because I already watched From Dusk Till Dawn last night. So.
Watch The
Fuck
Faculty.
yeah.
Man. It's fun. Yeah, it's a good like B movie. It's what it's trying to be.
Okay, isn't there an Elijah Wood zombie movie as well, where like the kids start? He's like a
Yeah.
substitute teacher, and
Cooties.
kids start turning into zombies. Cooties? Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
as good,
Yeah.
I would say, but it's high.
Okay. It's
In
just
the
like
same
a
vein.
movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
What more references?
Oh no, that was it. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting is kind of like a pseudo musical in a way. I don't know if that's like a good representation, but I would say the two like musical set pieces were kind of like what melted my brain two times. Like
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
the one with Sammy was like,
Yeah.
but then honestly the Jack O'Connell scene, I was like,
Yes.
That was dope too.
this
fire.
is fucking sick.
Kind
Yeah.
of like circling
Like,
in the back. He's doing
yeah.
the jig.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Very
It felt
demonic
like-
in a way.
And Coogler, he's only done a handful of movies at this point, but like it feels like in different hands, this could have been fucking weird. But like
Yeah.
it felt like it belonged in here because of how it was telling stories through like generations and ancestors and all this stuff
Yeah.
and
Music
two
and
different
culture.
cultures. Yeah, it was just kind of like fucking cool to just sit there, and I was like, goosebumps are happening right now. This is
100%.
great.
That's
So,
like after that main like generational music one, I had literally had to fight the urge to applaud because I just didn't.
Yeah.
I almost did just to like give the moment it's due, man.
Yeah,
That was so dope, man. Just
The
like
way
the
it-
camera work and all the way it flowed through the scene, like, and the music flowed with it. Yeah, it was sick. It was dope.
and I've been listening to those two songs on repeat like
I
all
need to,
since I
man.
watched it. So
Ludwig Göransson, man, that
Yeah.
man. I think he's on the tier of John Williams for me. Like he's legendary. Like his music.
I don't know if it was intentional or not, but when they were like doing some exposition parts as they're like telling their stories, did you guys hear like background like action happening, like the
Oh, yeah.
sounds happening in the background of like what they're kind of describing? I thought that was kind of a
Yeah.
nice little touch.
Dude,
Like when he was
that's why-
talking
I feel
about
it
like
was
the
such a cool,
lynching.
like soundscape,
Mhm.
and like I
Mm.
don't know, I don't know. I wish I could
Yeah.
get that again because like I definitely know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
and I feel like that
Yeah,
happened like multiple times.
it
Where it's
did,
like, shit,
and
Yeah,
I
a
thought
few,
go
yeah.
back. Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah.
Like it gave it a little bit more of like a artist's touch, kind of like
Yeah.
painting the picture for you as they're, exposition dumping.
And it
So it was
fits
a little
with
bit
like
more
the
like
weird
flavorful.
like magical link that this movie kind of has at the back with
Yeah.
like the music being this key to like power or like
Yeah.
that can
Mhm.
transcend.
That's through the soul or whatever,
Yeah.
and yeah.
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 That first one though, man, with like the setting the roof on fire, and it's like it's amazing throughout. Then it sets the roof on fire because it knows it just fucking like it did it.
Yeah.
It's like
Brought the
yeah, I
house
just
down.
fucking tore it down, and then it goes outside the barn and shows you the perspective of the vampire that sees like the barn as like maybe they're seeing through the barn at just the meat type of
Yeah.
vibes, or like they've actually burnt it down spiritually. That's just
Mhm.
fucking. That's like the chef's kiss at the end. It's so
Yeah,
fucking
that's
good.
art.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah.
Those are. He needs to do like music videos. Like honestly, man.
Honestly.
Like, do some.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, the
like-
sound design and the audio in this movie go nuts. Like, definitely
So
a
the
high point for
fucking
sure.
composer's his name's Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah.
Do you know who this guy is or not?
Oh yeah, I've.
I just
followed him for a
know I
while.
downloaded "Lied to Me" or "Lied to You" and the Rocky Road to Dublin, the two songs we were
Yeah.
talking about.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
like I knew
I
who
listened
this
to
guy
him while I was working
was
out earlier today.
because I had heard that he like originally was working on Community and then hooked up with Donald Glover and like
Yeah.
produced all of Childish Gambino shit.
Dude, he does
And
so
like,
much.
And then I found out he was like doing this, and I'm just like, that's like fucking cool. I don't.
Yeah.
It looks like
He plays
a lot
like
of
every
other shit,
instrument.
but,
He did Oppenheimer most recently.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah. He did the
Multi-talented.
Mandalorian score, which is like really distinct. It's fucking good. It's fucking
Shit.
good. Definitely lends like his talents here, and it really, really
Shit.
shows.
So is Sammy, in ways, representative of Ludwig Göransson?
Yeah.
He just,
He feels the music, man.
yeah, the music
Yeah.
just flows through every instrument.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh,
Did Coogler do both of the Creed movies?
He did the first
Yeah.
one.
I thought he did a
He
second.
in
think he did.
Fruitvale Station, because he did
Yeah.
he did the score for all of those apparently.
Yeah, they like went to school together.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's cool. I watched a couple interviews with him. It's pretty interesting. But I will say like those scenes are fire, obviously. And then I would say if without those scenes being there, my favorite scene of the movie was when they go to meet Delroy Lindo's character. He's the dude who plays like the harmonica at the beginning at the train station.
Oh yeah.
And they're like trying to make a deal with him through bargaining with like the beers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fire. Him and Sammy start playing together at the station. That scene's just good as fuck. But also Delroy Lindo, he's like maybe the unsung hero of the movie. He just carries like so much. He's the older, older
Yeah.
guy there.
Dude, he
You
was
guys,
the
you guys smell that? I think I just shat myself.
Dude, there were some scenes like that where like Cornbread lets in Stack's girlfriend Haley Steinfeld, and then that other couple walks up, and and he's like so nice to Haley. He's like, "Oh, come, of course, like come right in, you family, all that." And then like another couple comes in, he's like, "You got my $2," and like starts like shaking the dude.
You got that money on me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was good.
But the Slim thing was like the one thing, going back to kind of what you guys were saying about like the final battle in the barn and stuff like that. I just wanted him to like go out in a more badass way, I guess. He kind of just like draws them in and then gets torn apart. I don't know. I just wanted him to like grab a lantern and like fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
bash it on the crowd or something. and
He
take
like
it
cuts
with
and
him.
like is bleeding. That's kind of like cool, but
Yeah.
it doesn't like lead to the moment. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right. His final end.
Also,
Yeah.
just like in that scene or that sequence, there's just like there's only like 4 or 5 people alive in the mill, and
Mhm.
because they told everybody to leave, but when they let the vampires in, the vampires are like shown like eating multiple people like on the ground, and I'm just like, who the
Yeah.
fuck were these people? Because there were only 4
Yeah.
or 5 people, like the main characters in the fucking mill. Like,
They're turning on each other.
yeah, like.
I wondered
They're
that too.
hungry.
I don't know. I guess like that was kind of like they could have They could
It's
have
like the Walking
done
Dead
that
shit.
better.
They have like the Randy like red shirts that you never knew about, but they have to have like some people die. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
did
just
wonder, like, because like you guys talked, or Alex, you said like stretch it out. Maybe I kind of agree with that because I was like, man, I kind of wish they had more people to bounce off of in the barn,
Hmm.
and then
Towards the
when
end
that
there.
final battle comes, it's more of like that chaos and like
Yeah, it could have been more of a
like I know
bloodbath.
that they had to tell everybody
Yeah.
to leave, so they would all get turned into vampires. But I
Mhm.
wish that more random people would have just like been around. Like I
stuck
wish,
around.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
Feel
I wish
that.
they didn't
Yeah,
like
me
send
too.
everybody home or something, you know, or they
Mhm.
had like a
Mhm.
more effective way of just like splitting like
balanced.
half of them. Or
Yeah,
something.
maybe
Mhm.
some of them argue to stay. Like some of them are wise, so like I'm not going fucking out there.
Yeah.
Like, there's some crazy shit or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, could have been done for sure.
something like that.
Well, I would say Cougs does it again. Really nice to see an original movie from him. I would give the movie 4.5 stars personally. That's what I would give.
Yeah, I think everybody's on the top of their game. I think Jack O'Connell. I feel like obviously Michael B. Jordan's great in this, and everybody's great in this, but I feel like Jack O'Connell is like great villain,
So
like
good.
top
Yeah.
notch
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
Like when he's having that like battle, because he kind of basically told Sammy that he wasn't like kind of made it like when he was talking to him, he said, "Oh, trust me," type of situation. So when he was like had him in the water and he wasn't biting him, it kind of made more sense because he's kind of like, I already made this promise to him, you know. I don't know, kind of like built that trust. So it made more sense. All the like, is he gonna bite him or not? Like, why is he not doing this? And I just felt like that whole scene, a lesser actor could have soiled that. So
Yeah,
True.
really good stuff. Great villain.
True. Yeah.
Agreed.
I loved that scene was like, I mean, in line with all the like religion, like he's like almost baptizing him, you know, to become
Yeah.
this vampire. Like, yeah, I dug that.
Hell
Good
yeah.
stuff. I gave it 5 stars. I just feel like
Same.
gotta do it. This is the
Yeah,
second
like,
5-star
the
movie this year.
thing,
I think I'm
gave
being
it
too
5,
generous.
And then
What
I'm
was the
like,
first?
I don't know, and I dragged it down to 4.5. But I won't go.
4.5. I waffled between 4.5 and 5 for sure, but
But yeah, what was
I ended
the
on 5.
A riffraff, but honestly, that movie is just made for me. So I don't
I gotta
know.
watch
Like
that
when
one
I
still.
when I left the theater, I was like, this was a movie for Alex. Like they could have just been like, Alex, I did this for you, buddy. That's what, it was funny because
dedicated.
We see
me
you.
and my buddies were talking about that. We were both like, this is a movie for us. So it's got that
Nice.
Tarantino vibe. It's
Yeah,
kind of its own wacky shit. It's fun. I
Word
wish
riff
it got
raff.
marketed better.
Yeah, that was out of
But
there.
like Bill
fast.
Murray is
Isn't it-
actually funny in it. So is the one lanky comedian boy who just got all his tattoos removed. I can't think of his name.
Yeah,
Oh,
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, he's actually like made me laugh.
Wow.
Like him and Bill Murray together was like one of the best parts of the movie. They were so funny. But
I'll fire that one up soon,
Anyway.
I think.
it's good stuff. Would recommend.
Any final thoughts on Sinners, or shall we move on to our new director's dive?
I say
Oh,
it's been long enough. Oh,
True.
literally just about like the score again. Just one other like tiny thing. The fucking like
Yeah.
heavy metal distortion guitar that they threw in whenever like they did like classic vampire or like campy shit. I just thought was like perfect because it was like they know that it's like ridiculous, so like that's
Yeah.
why it's in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just having
it
fun
was
with
just
it.
so fucking good.
Yeah.
Because it didn't really fit anything else like in the score. It just like happened every once in a while when there was like
Mhm.
vampire shit or like bad. I don't know. Just like
Fucking
weird shit
stinger.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
But
it
that's
happen
I'm,
when?
I'm good now.
Okay.
So yeah, I
Just
think
gotta
it's
let
been
it
long
out.
enough. I think we've been pushing man off for 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think it's
my
about
beat. That's my
Yeah.
beat. I'll take.
it's about time we get into this. We roll up our sleeves, we put our big boy panties on, and we watch some real man's movies here. Okay.
Manly
Manly
80s
movies.
films.
Literally manly.
Really.
Yeah,
I had no
Yeah.
idea. So
Yeah.
Jericho Mile was his like directorial debut, but it was a TV film, so I don't think it was like considered
Yeah.
his
yeah.
directorial debut because he was
I would-
doing TV for a while.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly, I'd say it's on the level. Like I watch Spielberg's movies, and there's a movie called Duel that a lot of people
Mhm.
consider to be like the start, but it's a TV movie, and it's one of his better movies. So it's kind of cool
Honestly,
still to visit.
DUEL or DUEL?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's right.
I mean, as far as TV movies go, it's definitely top like tier,
Yeah, for sure.
quality wise,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, I think so.
It's definitely better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
uh,
I
so
don't
yeah,
have too many notes, and to be quite honest, I took these a while ago. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
watched
rewatch
Jericho.
Jericho Mile, but I did rewatch Thief because that I think will be forever rewatchable for me personally. But
nice,
Yeah, I was
um,
gonna.
on that
but
level.
then I did.
cool. Well, let's get into Chariots of. I almost just said Chariots of Fire. That's my first note. Jericho Mile. Sorry. Yeah. But my first note is that it's before Chariots of Fire. And it's like, I feel like there's a lot of energy here. I haven't seen Chariots of Fire, but it's all about running and
Okay.
men running. So I would assume there's
From their problems.
some core imagery
Man,
here.
I
But
did see like a
Yeah.
running movie when I was a kid that
It's gotta be that.
probably was that. And
There's
I'm like,
the-
when I was watching Jericho Mile, I'm like, wow, this is so fucking similar, but it's like, I know it's different, right? Like,
the famous scene from Chariots of Fire is the slow motion. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
okay.
dun.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's it.
probably.
wow,
That's
it's like I'm there watching
you.
it.
Yeah.
That's you don't have to watch the movie. I think it's like 3 hours long. So that's the
Jesus
gist of
fucking.
It's just
Probably.
3 hours of that. Fucking
slow
Yeah.
mo run. Yeah, like the race in slow mo.
Yeah.
It's just him running the
Just
mile.
live.
Yeah.
It's like 4
For an hour
laps.
and fucking long, yeah.
All right, he's about to overtake him. 30 minutes later.
Wow. Yeah. For
Um,
that shot of through the ribbon at the end.
yeah, yes, it's the payoff at the end is excellent. It's insane.
Yeah.
I will say for Jericho Mile though, I kind of liked imagining like catching this movie on TV in
Yeah.
1979. You know, I was like, if you're just like at home watching TV and it popped on, I feel like it would be like a nice night or like a nice like, oh shit,
Definitely.
you know, like oh, that was a movie, that was a real movie there.
Sure.
I could just see myself sitting on the couch hitting recall between this and like the Shawshank Redemption and just being like,
Yeah,
know,
just
I don't
bouncing
know.
around. Yeah.
yeah. So
Um,
yeah, my biggest notes on this movie was we've pretty much said them, but like I think there's a lot to love here, and I know this was his like TV debut, but it like definitely gives you a taste of what Mann is gonna give you moving forward into his movies with like his archetypes of his men and like the no nonsense. They're gonna deal with the past and how they deal with it, and that's how they're gonna do it. You know, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're at this place in their life and they're fucking not gonna apologize and they're gonna fucking
Right.
move on and do their
Exactly.
Yeah. My final note before we do some categories, I just rewatched The Wire, and maybe my brain just wants to link it, but I did kind of feel like some like Wire DNA watching the Jericho Mile, where maybe it's just like the prisoner aspect, maybe like the gang. He's like, I don't know, a little bit of The Wire. Maybe I just really like The Wire and want to give it
Wires
more credit.
is everywhere, man. I mean, Michael B.
is.
Jordan's in The Wire, so like, let's just say we wouldn't have Sinners without The Wire. Come
Straight
on.
up. Straight up. It's not Michael Jordan, the like superstar fucking basketball player.
Exactly.
Who's responsible. It's The Wire. You motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Give it its
Fuck
credit.
yeah. Honestly, I need to rewatch that. I think it's time. You've
Yeah, I
inspired
was
me.
just itching. And I was like, I've been thinking I need to watch The Wire, and then I popped it on, and it didn't stop. Fantastic watch.
It'll do that to you. I mean,
Yeah.
shit. Fuck yeah.
It's
Anyway.
deeper and deeper each watch. Anyway, yeah, let's get into the Jericho Mile. Some categories. What you guys have for the theme of the Jericho Mile?
Can't run from your past or your mistakes,
Yeah. That's pretty.
Yeah.
but you can fucking run.
Oh,
But you can run as fast as you can. I had to keep pushing no matter the circumstances. I mean, this man's obviously in prison,
yeah.
and he's still
Yeah.
like, trying to do stuff.
I have along those lines. I have like working towards your goals.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
I put do
running,
stuff for
running
you,
to your goals maybe.
not anybody else, I guess.
What was that, Joe?
Yeah, because like the prison wants to like use him as like this like icon or whatever the fuck, and
Yeah, and he just likes to run.
he's a fucking runner. Yep.
Fucking Forrest
Amen.
Gump in it.
Run.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think I'll
run,
go home
Jericho,
now.
Run. So shoot your shot. I mean, there's not like several iconic shots, but the one I had is just like it's kind of like right at the beginning, but I think he uses it quite a few times, which is like you just see him running in a circle.
Yeah.
And then the camera's like always centered. It's always like inside the circle and not outside because he's in prison. And it's like you get this nice like I don't know. It was a nice feel for what he was going for right at the beginning. Smart.
It definitely felt authentic, which I mean, this was all shot in a real prison with some real inmates, and like the guy running, I was always like, man, this dude's actually fucking running, isn't he? And I looked into it, and yeah, he
Hauling
did
ass.
like train for it. So like
Oh,
he,
dope.
he was running. So
He did it.
It's hauling ass sometimes.
No stunt double.
Yeah. He reminded me of like you ever go to a zoo and you see the wolves fucking like pacing around their cage. You know,
Yeah.
reminded I was like getting
Kinda.
those vibes.
Yeah. He's kind of scrangly like that too.
yeah.
Like a wolf.
a little wiry.
Uh,
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
quotables? Because I didn't have any
Owl.
quotables for that one.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Pretty generic stuff
I
for
have-
the most part.
I have
in
very
dialogue.
light notes on this. Light
Same.
notes on this one. So
Prop hunt. I don't know if I told you guys I moved prop hunt to right now.
Wow. Way
It
to
is out
fill
of
us
order
in,
still.
Matt.
Yeah, I forgot it
Gosh.
after all the weeks. I was gonna tell you that day, and I forgot.
God damn it.
But it just felt right. It felt right to move prop hunt here instead of having it later. And honestly, I'm questioning should we do theme later? Because I feel like starting with theme is a bit kind of like too up front.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Always iterating over here on the Stay Gold channel. Anyways, prop hunt.
Always looking for improvement.
Yeah.
Innovation. That's our game.
Continuous improvement. That's
Of course,
that's what we
you
are
can always
about.
be better. I just the stopwatch.
Hey, that's what I put.
Okay.
Yeah, nice like classic stopwatch.
Before he breaks it, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'd go with
yeah.
the shank.
That's what I was
The
gonna say, Joe. Yeah,
The fuck? Why?
prison shake, dude. Just
I
you
don't
never
have
know.
one.
A lot of people get shanked.
Alright,
You never know, man.
it's fair.
Already got the prison purse, so you know, might as well have the shank to go with
Might as
it.
well use it.
Yeah.
So on to performances now. Any performances stand out for this performance review? What's the word?
The main guy was good. I don't think he's in much more, to be honest. The guy from
yeah.
Rambo was in it. The police officer.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He's the big bad in this, just like he's the big bad in Rambo.
I thought the main dude had a really nice confessional scene towards the end. That's really the main highlight of his acting, I'd say, but he did a good job.
Definitely.
I kind of felt like
That and-
everybody was disconnected though, like they're like saying their lines to the best of their ability, but not actually like listening to each other.
Yeah.
It's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
like,
I feel that. Yeah. Yeah.
any other performance
Yeah,
thoughts?
I don't know. I think the no man, not for me. The
Yeah.
writing, I think maybe because it was written for TV, maybe that had something to do with it too. Where I was like, I don't know if it's the delivery or the way they're acting through these lines or whatever, but it did like I don't know. I did not rate this movie highly, so that's why I don't have much nice to say about it.
I also do.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
We either have the same rating or I'm slightly above you.
There's
Maybe I'm
nowhere to
getting
go.
Yeah.
soft in my
Yeah,
old
that's
age
it.
here, but
I mean, I'll give it its due there at the end of the rating. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
for a
not.
TV
But-
movie, this is pretty solid.
It's- that's
for
where
a
I'm
TV
kind of at with
movie,
it.
For what it is, it's fine.
Right, exactly. Exactly. What would you say is the highest of highs for the movie? The best scene or scenes?
I like the courtroom where he's like, they're telling him he can't run in the Olympics, so it's basically like the system wants him to. They want to milk him for his stuff, but they won't let him have his like moment. Like they'll take his moment and use it, but yeah. So that whole scene
Yeah.
was just like, I was like, damn, this is a TV movie. I don't know. I just kept thinking to myself like, this is a good TV movie. Like it's just impressive that, like my mom puts on a lot of bullshit when I go over to her house, and she'll just like flip through Amazon for 6 hours, and she'll find something that she'll be like, oh, this has that one actor I really like saw in this one obscure movie, and she'll turn it on, and it's like, he's got a cameo, mother. What are you doing? Like this is dog shit. But
Yeah.
this Jericho Mile, I wouldn't mind if she turned this one on.
Alright,
Anyway,
alright.
that's my long explanation of defending this movie, and I think it's
Yeah.
better than average.
All
I'll
Power
side
to
with
you.
you on that one. I agree.
With an asterisk for TV.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
TV. Yes, sorry. Preface again for a TV
Always
movie.
for TV. I would say my favorite scene was just him lighting the money on fire in the middle of the
That was
field
good.
and just like
Yeah, that was good.
walking away like a baller.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Damn, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what like kicks off the final
Yeah.
drama. I'm pretty sure.
That was a really good scene. Like, imagine just having that I don't give a fuck attitude enough to just be like, I'm gonna burn these guys' money even though they just shanked a homie.
Yeah,
You know?
it's just out of revenge. Just a fuck
Yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nitpicks. I said there's some pretty chunky editing in this. Some like actual like they missed maybe the wrong like frame to cut. You know, like they
Mhm.
like actually maybe fucked up the edit a bit.
Just
But
technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just fine because it's TV.
exactly.
I had for my nitpick, I just thought in the middle, like I thought it started off kind of right out the gates. I'm like, cool, this pacing's pretty good, but then it kind of dipped a little bit with his like cellmate next door cellmates kind of storyline, kind of dipped a little, but then of course that had its payoff because that got the pacing back up with the burning the money and him getting shanked. So it had its payoff. It just felt like it dragged ass just a little bit there in the middle.
Yeah, I
Fair.
kind of agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Anytime he wasn't
know.
running, I was just not interested, dude.
Yeah, if
Seriously.
he wasn't
Seriously.
running, I was just not happy at all. If
I
I didn't
guess-
see his
yeah.
upper thighs, not happy.
I
Yeah.
just didn't really
He
He
believe
kind of
it.
like had his own stuff going on. Like kind of, he didn't really have a lot going on, but his thing was that he was running, and like he could make
Keep
the
into
Olympics,
his
you know what I
own.
mean? And I guess like
Yeah.
it's not like the other, like his friend getting shanked wasn't like important. I just like felt like I don't know. It could have been like more concise maybe, or like they could have been wrapped up better, because like they felt like they were like not. They felt
Close.
separate, and
Yeah.
they were supposed to be connected. You know.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. That's what.
I
Yeah, it
think
didn't have much impact. I remember feeling that when it's like, oh, the guy next to him got shanked, and he didn't even really care to talk to the dude. So like, I don't know. I feel that.
I think what's cool, it kind of maybe elevated this maybe a little bit more. I don't know, is that like when Mann wrote this after this, and he was writing Thief for Frank's character, he was like got a lot of inspiration from being in the penitentiary system and being like, this is what Frank went through. So like maybe that's why Frank feels more fleshed out in that because he kind of lived that character already. So it was just
He
kind of like
was the guy running.
yeah, pretty much he was the guy. But like the whole speech where he's like he didn't give a fuck and he had to have that mindset. That's kind of like what this guy's mindset is in this. He's like he doesn't give a fuck, and like once he has that mindset, he's not in danger, you know. So and that's kind of like him just running. He kind of just does his own thing and keeps to his own self. Until, of course,
Yeah.
he can no longer do it.
He's pulled in.
Yeah.
What? Any clever girl notes? What you guys think this one did well?
It pulled off a TV movie that was entertaining. I didn't write that down. I just took that from my dome
Yeah,
here
that's
as
just
I'm
straight
sucking the toes of this TV movie.
It makes sense. Yeah. I said Credence Clearwater Revival. There's like an anthem that's playing the whole time by them. I thought it was like a nice like backdrop to like the stance of the movie, or kind of like the energy of the movie. So
It's good. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't have a clever girl.
Yeah, I don't either.
fair
Okay, you
enough.
guys hate this movie. All right,
Yeah.
just tell us. You
I
hate
don't
this
know.
movie.
I did not enjoy it. I wasn't in
I,
it.
That's
I
fair.
didn't either.
Yeah. Okay, your double feature.
maybe.
I assume Chariots of Fire.
Shawshank Redemption?
I was gonna put The Longest
That's,
Yard.
that's good. Well, yeah, that's a good too. Actually.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? The Adam
Which one?
Sandler one, or
Yeah.
Longest yard. Yeah.
Probably the original.
OG?
But-
Oh,
I guess you could go with either. Probably the original. Not that I like the original, but I felt like probably feel like it would fit with this more than
Probably.
you know.
Maybe.
I just want to watch the one with Adam Sandler. You know.
Yeah, honestly.
yeah,
I do too.
yeah.
Let's just be entertained.
Fine, we'll just go with the new ones. Fuck it.
Fuck it. They both have Burt Reynolds, right? So it's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Okay. Could a TikToker watch it?
No.
I put a 6 out of 10, maybe, but
Really?
I was just waiting because, like, I don't know. I feel like out of any of us, Alex, you like have a good gauge based on like your class, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's a
Yeah,
good
So it's just
serving
I
like
don't know.
sample
This
size.
category for me is just like I have no idea. So
Well, after watching a Minecraft
Yeah.
movie, my scale has completely shifted. It's tilted now,
exactly.
and I gave this one a 1 out of 10. No way, hell no.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No
That's
memes,
fair.
no memeable. Like there's nothing here for children. You know.
Like if I'm going with my gut, I would say like 2, but like I feel like usually my gut is
Damn.
wrong in this instance. So maybe I should go with like
Dude.
an 8.
This, yeah. Well, the attention span of TikTokers is so fucking like, how do you know what they're gonna latch onto?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I
I'm
feel
with
like
you
they
there.
would lose it in this movie. Like I feel like
Oh
their
yeah.
attention span wouldn't be able to, especially with commercial breaks. I mean,
Oh
I'm-
God,
No
we
chance.
forgot about
No
those
chance.
commercial breaks.
I know I came
Oh,
out of the
fuck.
gates pretty hot by saying a 6 out of 10. I wrote this down 3 weeks ago. I'm not sure
Mhm.
why I put a 6 out of 10, but
He was riding.
Yeah,
his
no,
thing.
I'm regretting it as I'm reliving this movie in real time right here.
There's no chicken
I
jockeys.
feel like
That's
there
for
isn't.
No.
And just,
To the movie's detriment, honestly.
Sure. Yeah, if there were a
It's
couple
just-
more
you're
chicken
right,
jockeys
this-
in here.
this
Might have kept
Maybe
it.
I
Minecraft
would have given it 3
experience,
stars. Maybe.
like I played that song from Sinners, I Lied to You, and I tried to like have my 6th graders like sit and enjoy it with me, and they
like that?
didn't want to sit and listen to it. They said
Really?
this is trash, and I'm like, you guys are trash. Okay, so
Y'all are
failed,
trash.
all of you. So,
No.
so maybe
I
I just need to
would-
alter my
Gonna
scales
learn
as well.
someday.
Going out the door.
God damn.
That's disappointing, man.
Yeah, I don't know why I put a 6 out of 10. I'm gonna stand by it though because I did it.
Hey.
Like,
Hey.
yeah.
We'll let you
I
change.
can't knock you.
You will see a meme of this guy running sometime in the next 5 years.
Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe
The
that's
sports
it.
of it all. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why. And the penitentiary of it all. I think
Right.
kids kind of eat that shit up. Or maybe it's just
Yeah,
the school
sports
I'm
of
at.
Imagine
but-
speeding him up, running in a circle. That could
Yeah,
be
put
something.
the Benny Hill theme
That
song
could be
behind it.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting somewhere. Okay, sequel, prequel, remake. I said I could see like an Oscar baity movie doing okay.
That's what I put. I said I could see
Okay.
this being remade as like a modern day like redemption type story
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they
or
could.
a tragedy
They could do it.
in a way.
Be
Yeah.
like kind of. Well, I guess not really.
I mean, if this wasn't for TV and you can make the script a little grittier and add some, like add those gritty
some,
prison scenes,
You know,
and
some sex and
why
More
not?
monologues about loneliness
Yeah.
and running and
Yeah.
give me that conjugal visit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, gotcha.
Ew.
All right, hey, I'll take
Fair.
that over what I assumed.
I'll take
I
either
have
or,
a. I also have, before we get to star power, I have a that guy. Bear with me
I
on
think I
this
do
one.
too.
Really? Who is it?
Yeah.
Because mine is
So,
not what you
look,
think.
I think the God damn. I think the coach is in Thief, right? Or am I
It's,
Who's the
Is
coach?
it
the dude who's like trying to? Here, let me look that up.
Yeah, I got fucking.
The coach is the only one who has an acting career, I'm pretty sure, like
Maybe it
past
is
this
then.
movie.
Because
Maybe
I
he's,
feel
he's
like
man's
I saw
guy.
him in Thief, but I could be wrong. Maybe I was like thinking of something else. Let me just.
Well, while you were looking that up, that guy, and this maybe is just completely wrong, but I have to make it known if it's true because then I'm a god. There's a sound effect of metal hitting
Oh,
the main dude as he's getting locked in his cell, and it's like a dong, dong. It's metal hitting metal. And I was like, is that the Adult Swim dong? You know, like the
2 words.
where it's like dong,
Adult Swim.
dong.
and-
You know, yeah, I can't confirm or I don't know, but like I'm pretty
I have
sure it is.
no idea what the
I'm
hell you're
pretty
talking
sure.
about.
I could not.
but-
Yeah, I could not tell you, bro.
Alright, if you edit this video at all, you should like throw them both in. Like, right
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
it'll get confirmed someday, or I'll get completely shut down with
Yeah,
evidence.
eat them up
but
in the comments. Fucking light them on fire
yeah.
in the comments, people.
I'm pretty
right
sure
now.
it is. I'm pretty sure Adult Swim
Yeah.
used that
Wait,
sound
you know,
sample.
like, when in the
from
movie
Jericho
is
Mine.
this?
It's like maybe 20 to 30 minutes in from my memory where he's like getting kind of fucked with a guard, and there's just like this weird metal clanking noises, sound effects.
Why didn't you just like listen? Why didn't you just like go back, listen to that, maybe like record it, and then fucking just Google the Adult Swim theme, man?
Well,
and then
because
just compare
this
it.
Joe,
cannot be
he was
Googled.
engulfed in the story of the Jericho
Oh
Mile.
yeah, you're right.
I
He
wanted to
cannot
see how it
stop.
ended. I didn't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're
There was
hypnotized
another
in circles.
booty
Booty
Story.
shorts running scene coming up. He had to be there for it. Okay?
Honestly, when I was like, how I thought about researching it, I was like, how am I going to research this? Let's think about it, and what am I going to search here?
Let me just search right now.
Is the
I can
metal
find it right now
dong
if you want.
sound
Yeah.
effect in the Jericho Mile
We
TV
need-
movie from
we need to
1979
uncover
the
this.
same as Adult Swim? That's like Google will just
For
be
I
like,
Matt's
guarantee
sanity.
you,
"Ah,
there's
ah."
some neckbeard redditor who has this laid out for you. All
I
right.
hope so.
Yeah, there's a whole subreddit dedicated to this, probably.
I hope
Jericho
so.
Mile, our
Yeah.
Jericho Mile, our Michael Mann. Yeah.
Our Jericho Mile
Well,
Adult Swim
there's
sound
nothing for
effect.
that specifically,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like you're gonna have to just compare them side by side. And
Well-
maybe like here, I'll just Google.
I wouldn't put Adult Swim dong. I don't think you want to do that.
Yeah, what's like
Might be
what,
a little.
ding dong sound effect?
Yeah,
But
gee.
that's my that guy, because when I heard it, I was like, my like something happened where I was like, Adult
Yeah.
Swim, like,
Your monkey brain was like,
yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, is it fucking 11:30 p.m. or whatever fucking
Found it.
time it is?
All
found it?
according to Reddit,
Or salivating. Your mouth starts.
the Adult
on
Swim
Reddit.
intro bell noise.
No, it's a dong. It's not a noise.
Where it'd be like adult clang,
Specifically.
swing, clang,
Clang, clang.
I think it's what they're talking about. And then the
Bit
first
clang, yeah.
comment is it says Mark 7 Limited Universal Television 1967 in a YouTube link.
1967.
So
So
it
this
came
was
out before
Jericho
Yep,
Mile.
you might be onto something
This
here.
could be a sound effect that
Shit.
they just had in their catalog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, this is it. This is it. All right, here. You want this video or what's up?
Yeah, man.
I can post it in here.
Yeah.
I think something, right?
Fucking
We'll have
Detective
to-
Cambic
let's
over
watch
here.
This shit.
What do
God
what do you
bless.
want? How do I-
Send it into some type of chat so I can pull it up here. We'll
Oh,
really
fuck.
compare.
Can I leave? Can I just? I don't fucking know how to use this shit. All right, here. Let me just try some stuff. All
There's
right.
a little open chat bubble on the on air channel. You could just drop it in. It's
Cool,
got some
yeah, I'll do
old
that.
chats from 2 years ago in here.
Wait,
Damn.
I don't even know how to chat in
Damn.
Discord, man.
Wait, what the fuck? Yeah, where do I find this button? God damn,
Oh,
we're live.
yeah. Go to on
I
air
fucking-
and go to open chat.
Am I 100 years old?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh, gotcha. No, actually, I don't. Oh, I actually. All right, now.
There it is.
Let's see.
This is definitely the Adult Swim sound. I don't know if it's the same.
Oh,
thing.
good. An ad.
You don't have YouTube, Red?
I need to.
Dude, I mean, I just listened to that. Let me pull up the Jericho Mile. You know, I'm
Okay,
pretty
fuck,
sure
let me-
it's
Okay.
okay.
Fucking idiot.
Where is this? I cannot find this scene though. There's no way.
Yeah, that's what like.
Let me
If you do
look. Let
find
me
it-
do a
That'd be
quick
was
look.
it pretty
see.
early, right?
I thought it was like a third to two-thirds, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Let me
A third
try
to two thirds.
this.
I mean, that's a big difference, dude.
Dude,
Do you know
it's
what's
a
going
metal
on in
clang in a movie in a prison. I don't want to
there?
fucking
You know what's
hear
going
it.
on in the scene.
I have a general idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Wait,
see.
what's going on in the scene? I got the
Wait,
video
wait.
pulled up too, dude. I'm trying to find it.
Wait. Let me.
Yeah.
let me-
Now I'm down the rabbit hole with y'all.
Let me try something.
What you watching on TV tonight, watching your mama. Hey, I don't play that.
Clear the bars, stand clear, 3:30 lockdown, and body count coming up.
I wish when you scrubbed on this website, it gave me like the pop-up window to show me what I'm like looking at here.
Yeah.
No matter where I jump in this, he seems to be running.
Okay. Wait for it.
Yeah.
Come on. It's around the 40-minute mark, it looks like.
40 minutes?
40:37.
40,
I'm
37.
looking right
Okay.
now. 40. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, 40, 40, 40, 50.
Stand clear, stand clear.
Wait for it.
What are you doing?
40, 50. 40, 50.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Wait, 40, 50. Hang on. I want to be there with this.
Yeah,
God.
it's almost at 41.
Yep, that's the sound. You're right.
Yeah,
That's
like
the
100%.
dog.
It is. It's
100%,
the
dude.
dong. Wow. Wait, what a.
Vindicated. That's what vindication feels like right there. That's beautiful.
How do you feel? Like you conquered that.
That was, sometimes the brain's it's a miraculous
You
tool.
made that dong your bitch.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Joe made that dong your bitch.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe, for
Yeah.
doing the research.
Yeah, thanks for
That's
pushing
okay.
the research.
Interesting choice of
Nah,
words.
it's pretty easy to just Google some shit. I mean, we found this
Dude,
in,
I
what,
thought
like,
that
under
was
1
I thought
minute?
I wouldn't be able to like find that cuz whenever I try to like access deep cut movie knowledge, like AI doesn't have that access usually. So,
I mean,
Amen.
yeah,
Fuck AI.
yeah.
I don't know. I guess in this
Wait, is
instance,
this when
it sounded like you
he's
were going to go at it from the Jericho Miles standpoint, but like you should have just went from the Adult Swim standpoint because that's like a way easier sound to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But here we are. We wouldn't have this moment right now. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. What do we got next?
I just want to say that's that guy. That's that sound effect. So,
Yeah.
do we
Wait,
do we do
that
stars?
guy.
I said 3
You said
stars.
that- Wait,
I
said,
did
uh,
3.5. 3.5.
let me
Okay.
look on Letterboxd because it's either 2.5 or 3.
Yeah, you're the same as me, Joe. I'm
3.5.
at 2.5. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
I'm not
Wow.
close.
Couple of hitters here.
I'm on the higher end with you, man. I feel you.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like I was looking. I've been spending a lot of time on Letterbox, more time than I usually spend on Letterbox. I've been making these lists. I just feel like, am I being too harsh sometimes on movies? Like, should I be giving some movies more benefit of the doubt? You know?
That's where I'm at. I'm like, am I just lumping 3.5 and 3 stars as something that I
Yeah.
don't want to put more effort or thought into? Really, it's like
Right.
maybe I should think about that. Even though I just gave this one 3 stars, but this one
Yeah,
actually
I
kind of
think-
feels like that.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because when I sit around the like 3.5 mark or the 3.5 or 3 star mark, I'm kind of like, am I putting it in 3 stars to be nice, or is it lower than this because like I'm not gonna think about or come back and watch this movie.
Mhm.
So if it's like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that, like it's like I'll put it lower. Like I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
thinking about it.
How
Like
about we all,
That's fair.
moving forward
Yeah.
from now, just try to spread out our range.
That's where I'm at.
We'll just
I
use
feel
the
you.
whole range from 0 to 5 stars.
Okay. Half star. I
Okay.
barely cracked into half stars. So those are probably the ones I don't have.
Yeah,
many.
that is true. I don't have a lot of
pretty low
those.
on those.
That's gotta be like
Yeah.
a miserable experience for me. Like straight up, like if 5 stars like ethereally like a magical like blissful experience, like half stars like this like fucking ruined my life. kinda
Soul
thing.
crushing.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's gotta be bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of not bad movies, though, should we get into our next one for Michael Mann?
Let's
Move on.
let's fucking do it. This is the one. So I
Yeah.
thought this is what we were starting with, and then I saw Jericho Mile on Letterbox, and I was like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah.
But
I would say Thieves probably is widely considered his first major film.
I think so, which is cool too, because I think like he was like sole producer, sole writer. I mean, I think he had James Caan's brother, and then Jerry Bruckheimer were like the money.
Yeah.
But like all the other stuff is just basically this is Michael Mann's
Yeah.
product, like through and through, which is cool. Anyway,
Yeah, so I know you're high on this one, Alex.
Yes.
I'm curious what everyone else's thoughts are on Thief. This has been a pretty hyped movie for me, I'd say, coming into it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's always it could be hit or miss with the expectations so
Oh.
high.
I really didn't know where my expectations lied for this one, but I was pleasantly surprised for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just I don't know. I think I just don't really watch a lot of. To be honest, I mean, I didn't feel a lot watching this movie. I was kind of bored. this movie isn't really what I would typically watch. So I guess like coming into this talk, I was more just gonna listen to like what you guys liked about this movie, because if this is like the beginning of our Michael Mann journey here, I just want to like see it in a lens where I'm gonna actually appreciate these
Make me
movies.
understand.
Yeah, I guess
Fuck.
because I don't really get it. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
after
this
Jericho
movie
Mile,
didn't
I don't
really like make me
blame
think
you.
a lot. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't really see like a ton of film shit about this movie. I mean, I like the performances, but like also it is pretty like toxically masculine, manliness.
That's
Yeah.
Michael Mann, though. I think that's gonna be this whole journey.
Yeah,
He
which
really
is like
bought
fine,
into
right?
his
Real
name.
good stoic man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I
I
don't
feel
know.
you. I get that.
I guess that's
I mean-
like my vibe right now.
That's good. I mean,
So I
I'm
didn't
kind of on
hate
that
it.
level,
totally fair.
honestly.
I'm like willing to
Yeah.
give this like more of a shot, and I just like I don't really like watch a lot of movies like this, and I don't
That's fair.
really personally find them entertaining. But maybe if I can be explained, if it can be explained, I'll understand it better.
Okay.
Well, I would say through
You
like
are
a
hard-niched.
historical film lens, I valued this one. First off, I was like, the opening sequence is in like rain with a lot of red lighting, and I'm like, is this riffing off of Blade Runner? And I looked up the year, and Blade Runner is actually after this, so it predates Blade Runner. There's a lot of visual stuff, I'd say, and a lot of story stuff. Like sets the tone for like '80s movies and even like
Mhm.
'90s films with like Tarantino and stuff like that. And especially it blazes a trail for films that I love, like Blood Simple, which comes out like 3 years after this. Just like harsh, gritty crime stuff that I think is better than this. But I give this movie its due, where it's like it's really digging its heels into this culture in
Yeah.
like an '80s gritty, manly,
Mhm.
cig smoking life. So,
Yeah, I definitely waffled with the feeling of like, man, is this like I'm sure. I think one of my nitpicks is that it feels dated and that it definitely has that like toxic vibe.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, dude. The ending kind of like I was like, you know what? Kind of dug it.
So fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, I did like the end. I mean,
Yeah.
I get what you mean though, because I will say it didn't do like what I wanted it to do for me. I kind of
Yeah.
similarly to you, Joe. I was just like not very engaged through my watch, so maybe it's kind of on me a little bit. But it wasn't really pulling me in anywhere. In ways.
What I guess
That's fair. That's fair.
I was pleasantly surprised with throughout the movie was that it was more about the characters and less about the thievery. Which, I mean, the first 10 minutes, obviously, he's doing his heist, and it kind of like, without, I don't know if there's any dialogue until he gets to the car lot where he's telling the people to move the cars.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
I don't think
But
so.
like,
No, it's
you
just
see
the opening
everything
of
that
him.
you need to see about this character set up without any dialogue, which is very cool.
Right.
And then obviously the dialogue comes in when he's at the car lot. But after that, like the whole setup is that first 10 minutes, the credits are rolling, so it's like flowing really nicely. So the
Yeah,
pacing's
music
already
blasting.
like top notch stuff.
It is, yeah.
But then like you just have these characters now that you care about in this world with the kind of like a heist happening in the background. But I thought it was super character forward, which
It
I don't know,
is for sure.
is more my speed, because heist movies are fine. I like them. But like
Mhm.
I prefer these cool characters more than the heist itself.
Yeah. And there is like a smoothness to heist movies that this leans into at times, but it does kind of have that really like harsh edge on this, where it's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a different heist movie too.
Yeah. I will
Strictly
say
because of its character.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I love about this one is that it's like, I mean, it's in the title, it's like it's literally about this one guy who's like
Yeah.
trying to do his job and then get out of the game.
Yeah.
And I know that's kind of like a can be a stereotypical character where it's like, one more job, man, like, and then I'm out, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, this one worked for me because it just like maybe the grittiness or the edge helped it a little bit more. Where it's like this, and James Caan's performance maybe too.
I mean,
where it's just, like,
he's
selling it.
believably a thief though, which is nice.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
not making a movie called
caring.
Thief and then having a guy who's like, you know what, girl, go. Don't go into the scene of the crime. Like he's a guy that like is a shitty guy. Like
Right.
Which is
Scumbag
cool.
vibes,
Like
yeah.
kind of like what you said. No, he's no nonsense. Just kind of like the movie is just like no nonsense. There's no bullshit. Like you're just thrown right into it. And James Caan's character is literally no nonsense. Like he tells this woman, like, "Hey, I'm a thief. You know, I went to prison. We're gonna get married,
Yeah.
and that's that. You know, so like, just no bullshit.
Yeah.
I
That's
loved it.
that's what made
goes
me
out and
respect it. I was
gets
like,
it.
this movie knows what it is. So I was like, you know, like I
Yeah.
respect it for that for sure.
For
I
sure.
also just want to point out, I think he's already married. And maybe has
No,
a
he
kid.
said she's
He
gone.
was married, and now he's
Yes.
not, right?
She was married, I think, as
He
well.
said, yes,
Yeah,
he
was
died.
definitely in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her husband died, and he said, "I was married. She's gone, by the way. So, I mean, either she's dead or they're divorced." So,
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
He killed her.
That's actually one of
Yeah.
my favorite scenes,
Oh.
but we can get to that later.
I mean,
Nice.
that's treat women like shit. So I mean, I can see
Yeah,
it.
you never know what the backstory is. Why did he go to jail? Got caught? What did he say?
Oh,
yeah, he got caught.
breaking in.
He
breaking
stole
into them
$40.
panties.
He stole $40 and then caught another 11 years for manslaughter in prison.
Jesus. Of his
Shit,
wife.
okay. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think it's in that diner scene where they meet up and he basically forcibly makes her leave the bar and they go to the diner.
Okay. I remember the diner
Kinda
scene. I
blanking on
remember
it.
liking that scene.
Yeah. I did get some Nolan vibes too. I've always heard that Christopher Nolan has some Michael Mann energy or kind of inspiration. So,
I could see that
Oh,
in
yeah,
his
that's a
male
little bit of that.
characters for sure.
well, the intro too. I was like, this kind of feels like the Dark Knight intro.
Yeah.
You know,
A little
like
bit.
some-
Like just the
some
lighting and the.
heisting. Yeah, just like the mechanics of like the heist action and like the cutting between all the different players. Not a lot of dialogue.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we get into some categories?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, man, we need to move the theme. It's just
Yeah.
too much.
Do you want to push it for this one?
Yeah, let's do it right before a star rating. How about that? Let's see how that.
Okay. So what are we
feels.
starting with?
But I feel like we're already talking about the theme
shots?
before the theme. Then
Exactly. I mean, we are kind of already talking about the movie. That's why I was up front.
I don't know, man. I feel like the theme is fine first. It's like
Okay. It just
thesis.
feels like you're
Like,
at
it's like-
school and it's like, what'd you guys get for the
This is
most
your
important
project.
question? Yeah, like.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's not do categories because I feel like that's okay. You know, sure. I don't care. Put it wherever you want. I don't give a shit.
Let's try it at the end. Let's try it. Let's just see how it feels.
If it
But
doesn't
then-
feel right at the end, we can go back. I mean, I'm game for.
But then
whatever.
we're starting with shoot your shot, which is not, you know.
For the record, I just want to say I side with Joe. I think we should put it at the beginning because we're already talking about the movie. But I just want on the record, let the record show
Okay.
what I said.
2v2. Let's shake it up for this one time.
Yeah.
And then we'll
Okay.
vote at the
All
end.
right.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right.
You know, I'm pro shaking it up. All right, I shake it here and there.
Just here and
From
there.
time to time. I've been
Yeah.
known to shake.
Well, do you shoot your shot though? Because that's the category we're starting with. Then, what was your favorite shot? Which is also kind of a bad place to start, right? Like-
Yeah, that is. That's,
They were, like,
kind of brings
choppy.
momentum to a halt here.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very end, when he makes it out of the house, there is some weird shooting stuff going on there, right? Or am I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, but there is some kind of weird effect going on, isn't there?
There's some slow mo, I think, isn't there?
There's slow
Maybe
mo.
it's just
At the end?
slow-mo.
Yeah,
I thought
there's
it
a
was
little
like
slow-mo.
some weird frame.
There's a
shit,
huge
but I
huge slow mo explosion.
Yeah.
That stands out for sure,
don't know.
which is cool.
Yeah.
My favorite shot for shoot your shot was after when Frank gets bonked and the guy's like, you know, saying look at him and it's got that like he's looking up at the guy. And I really like that whole sequence where he's kind of like shifting his position around James Caan's character.
Let's go on.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the power fucking shot, right? Where you're
Yeah, well,
underneath.
he's like so out of focus because James Caan's kind of like coming to it still. So I don't know if that was like
Yeah.
intentional. I'm gonna say it is because Michael Mann is a cool guy. So we'll just say he's
Yeah.
doing it.
Who knows what he's doing?
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
So
Maybe it's not the shot specifically, even though I think it's a powerful shot with like how it's framed. But the shot of him just sitting and smoking a cigarette after he has like the huge heist at the end, just like
Yeah.
lights up a cig and like has
Admiring
like
his
some
work.
nods.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
that is good.
Yeah,
nice, man.
I like
Yeah.
that.
That was my favorite. Any
Nice. I have
quotables? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say the skyline shot in the beginning after they set up the heist or his first safe cracking,
Mm.
and it's just like the Chicago skyline with the water, and he's sitting next to that fisherman, and it's just too like I don't know, it was just cinema. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
pretty.
Just
like,
cinema.
Straight
Just
up
cinema.
You love to see it. All right,
love
the
it.
quotables. There's some good lines in here. I had one. It's kind of like in dialogue too, but he's in the police station. They're getting questioned or whatever. The cops are saying that he's going to be there when he slips up.
Yeah.
And his response is, and that's the
Yeah.
last place you want to be because no matter what, I am never ever going to take a pinch from a greasy motherfucker like you. And I'm like,
Fuck yeah, baby.
nice, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I dug that. I love that scene. Can I just say, when they're like beating him up, he grabs like the book, and again, this might not be a thing that's intentional, or if it is intentional,
Oh.
like thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Where he's just they're throwing the book at him, you know,
Yeah, it's got to
hit
be,
him with
right?
like this big ass phone book. I was like, all right, cool,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I liked it. But yeah, good quote. Hell yeah.
Yeah, good shit. Good
I
dude.
have a lot on here. I'll try to narrow it down. I think I'll do a couple honorable mentions. I won't say the whole quote, but where he says I wear $150 slacks, silk shirts.
Mhm.
He's selling all that stuff. Like he changes cars more than most people change shoes.
Yeah,
That one's good.
I'm a
I think
That's
thief.
when
him
that's
saying
mine.
I'm a straight arrow, I'm a true blue kind of guy. I've been cool and I'm now unmarried, so let's cut the mini moves in the bullshit and get to the big romance. I thought that was,
Mhm.
kind of like the theme
The no
there of the
nonsense.
movie.
Man, like
Kinda,
saying,
yeah.
I don't want to write what you guys are writing. Like,
I think the whole speech that he gives after the big bad, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, gives Frank while he's laying on the ground is super like evil and intimidating. I thought that was cool. Kind of like a good moment there. That's a huge paragraph. I won't read that. Leo, that's his name. But my favorite, my money in 24 hours or you will wear your ass for a hat.
mm,
yeah,
nice.
Frank is so fucking cool.
it's some
When he's
baller
got his
shit,
gun
man.
out and he's like on that level of like, I'm putting on like my intimidation mode.
Yeah.
He's like, so the way he like moves is like so strangely, I don't know. It's cool.
That's what, especially the second time watching it, I was just like, Frank is so like to be that small, skinny, but like not give a fuck and
Yeah.
think you can just take on the world.
Right. It's like a
My man.
mongoose, like,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. He'll bounce on you. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought that too, because like this guy's got some skinny ass legs, but he's walking around like he's about to beat up the next guy down the street that he gives him a
Yeah.
funny look. Like,
He's got
yeah.
thick coats.
Like
Yeah. Wearing that
at the end
leather.
there when he's like talking to the guy and he's like, "Where's the rest of my money?" And did somebody else walk in this room, or are you talking to me? Or, like
Yeah.
I'm like the balls in this, and like he follows through with it. Like he's not intimidated by this guy. He's basically like, "No, I told you, one and done. Go fuck yourself. No one owns me." I'm like, "Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty badass.
Maybe I'm just a fucking weirdo, but
Nah, I feel
that tickles my screw.
Any other quotes, or should we get into the prop hunt category?
Oh, I forgot you moved prop
Prop
hunt.
Yeah.
Man, God.
Yeah, it was all
Yeah, I
getting
gotta rearrange
rearranged.
the end.
Yep. Every episode, we're just gonna do a random arrangement. Just to see
A
which
random
one
switcheroo.
works. Yeah.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah,
I
which
guess it
one's
could
the
be
best?
for prop hunt. It's not super relevant, but the Green Mill, like one of the places that he blows up, it's like literally right down the street from me. It's like a
What?
jazz bar.
Whoa.
Apparently, I don't know. Apparently, it's existed for a long time. Apparently, Young Bone used to hang out there. But yeah, it's like a jazz club.
That's
Have you been
cool.
in there?
Pretty cool. Yeah, I've been in there a couple times.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Pretty
Sweet.
small,
Sick.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Big flex, Joe. Big flex.
Yeah.
I just like when I saw it, I'm like, holy
Hey,
shit, like that's cool.
Just hanging out where gangsters just hang out, no big deal.
Yeah, right.
I mean, this is a Chicago movie, right? Like, that's where.
Actually, I
Yeah.
looked
Oh,
up
yeah.
after it. I don't think maybe. I mean, I would assume, but I don't know if they ever actually say.
I don't know. Yeah. For my prop hunt, I really liked the bug that he finds. The little tiny like
In his-
green
in his
ship
phone.
with like the GE logo. It looks like on it. I just like that little bug. It's
Matt's just gonna be fucking conducting surveillance on neighbors now and shit.
I know what to look. I know to
Fucking
turn the sink
spying.
on now.
I think
Yeah,
I have to
Anytime we
take
need to
the
talk, let's turn the sink on.
the D flawless 3-carat ring. I mean, that's brought up on a
That
couple
ain't too
occasions.
shabby.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah,
for sure.
ain't too shabby. I put his friend's 77, that white Corvette that he like pulls it. You only see it
Yeah.
once. I was like,
Yeah.
nice car.
Okay, we can't do any cars anymore, or like
It's like
watches.
that's my default now. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I'm just like, nice car.
Because every time now I'm watching, I'm like, that's a nice watch. Like I'm like, I would take
Yeah.
that watch. Like,
Take that watch.
I could have taken his gold watch too.
all right. I was like, I thought I had that thought. I was like, and he had a ring too. I think it's like a pinky ring that he has. I was like, that's
Yeah,
a nice ring.
Yeah, it's like emerald
like
or
that.
whatever. Yeah.
it's an emerald cut ring.
Uh,
D flawless 3-carat. Tried to
Look
buy
at-
a child with it.
Jesus.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
yeah, whatever you gotta do,
Um,
man.
Performance review. You gotta give it up, right?
Obvious answer.
James Caan. I mean,
Yeah.
hard
he
carries,
carries.
I would say.
100%, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
though, look, I mean, he was by far the best. I will say, Jim Belushi, I was
Jim.
just surprised because, like, holy
Yeah.
fuck, dude, that guy
Yeah.
can't act. But, like, in this,
He's not
he
bad.
was selling me. I
Yeah.
thought he knew what he was talking about. But
I didn't realize it was him until like halfway through.
The
'Cause it's, like,
voice
just not a role.
man. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know. I didn't really know, like, what John Belushi was doing at this point.
I looked up
just-
when he died, and it was like the year after this.
Really?
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay.
Because I just assumed that Jim Belushi just was riding his coattails.
I
but
thought because that's what I thought it was like after
Belushi
everything,
Man.
but there must be
Yeah.
some crossover time where he was
I don't
like
know,
kind
yeah.
of in the
honestly,
Yeah,
I thought
in
he
the
did a good
mix.
job, though.
It was good. It was
surprised.
nice.
too.
It fit his shtick for sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
And like
Not
a
that he was
wild,
the best, I just,
no.
you know.
Wild Willie Nelson too. I thought he kind of fit
Oh,
his
yeah,
role.
He
Yeah.
did do well.
Yeah.
I think my runner-up is Robert Prosky. He's Leo. I think he was a really good bad guy. Kind of
Is he like
settle
the
it.
Surprised.
older white-haired dude?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The glasses.
he's the
Yeah.
bad guy, the big
That's
guy.
who I
I've
would.
seen him in,
That's
like,
who I was
other
like. We
stuff,
could probably
too. He's
recast
pretty
that guy.
Oh,
Personally.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I was
thought
like-
about it at first, but I was like, he tricks you. Where he's like, he seems so nice, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's like,
I
this
I
nice
wanted
guy. He's
more
like, "Oh, yeah, we'll get you."
imposing. Maybe it's just too basic, but I was just
No,
like I
I
wasn't
get
feeling
that.
the
I
threat.
get that.
Until that scene, I thought the same. I'm like, is this guy really the bad guy? And then after he's basically like, I will whore out your wife and kill your
Yeah.
kid. They will eat them in their burgers. And I was like, okay, all right.
Man, this guy's got
Chill.
it in him.
That's-
Okay.
Yeah.
Got a little
Pump the brakes.
unhinged.
Pump the brakes.
Okay. This guy's got to die.
Little screw loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The burgers, you had
Uh,
to do it to him.
And I think Tuesday Weld holds her own as she's like whipped along for the
Yep.
diner love.
You know,
That's-
literally, yeah.
I didn't have a stroke. That's her name. Tuesday Weld. That's a real.
Yes. I did a double take when I was
I
looking
did
up her
that
name as well.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying the only person I was recasting was probably that guy, the main villain, but he was fine.
That's fair. I didn't have a recast, so
I had a
I was
recast.
pretty happy.
Who was it?
John
Yes.
Santucci, the one cop, I think recast him with Chris Penn, and we got a good Reservoir Dogs esque situation going
I
on
see.
here.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
Mhm.
I'd be down
Reservoir
for that.
Dogs meets True Romance
actually-
type vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of leads into my nitpicks a little bit.
What you
We'll
got?
get into that. It's just like the police side of things. I almost like wanted a little more like cat and mouse, but I
Oh, you'll
understand
get
why.
it. Just wait. Give it
Yeah?
2 more
Okay.
movies. All right, 2 more movies. You'll get your cat and mouse, baby.
Yeah. Wait.
Stay
You mean
lit,
for
stay
Heat?
lit?
Fuck
That's the one I'm most excited for. I'd say.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
I've
we're
seen
skipping
that.
the last Mohicans. Yeah, we do have 2 left. Hell yeah. Right, we're
Yes.
skipping the last Mohicans.
Yes.
He has another TV movie too, which is like Heat Light. It kind of seems like
Yeah.
right
What's it
before.
called?
That is.
Oh,
Yeah.
So if we want
I
to,
saw it.
don't need to, because I just want to watch Heat. So
I'm so ready for Heat again. Oh yeah.
I've never seen it, so it's definitely.
That's exciting. I hope you guys
oh
like it.
shit. Next
I'll
one
be
is
sad.
called The Heat. Apparently, it's a supernatural horror film.
Keep, and then he goes to
Temrami.
Okay.
fucking Silence of
Sorry.
the Lambs shit, right?
I just like never heard of these movies, so I just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only heard a few of his. So.
Well, let's continue. Let's just do nitpicks then, if we're on it still.
Sorry,
I was
I'll
just
go-
had the overall nitpick of like what Joe was kind of saying, where it's like continuous cool guy antics don't really add like dimension or any change in the movie. Not I don't need like even need change in the character, but like the scenes just felt the same after a while.
I feel
kinda.
like, yeah, there's a lot of cool guy
That's
antics,
kinda
but there's
fair.
scenes where like Can's character kind of opens up where
He does.
he's trying to be a cool guy, and then Leo is like, "I can get you a kid," and he's basically reminds him like, "Remember, I'm your dad." And like, since Can has never really had like a father figure besides Willie Nelson, and like Willie Nelson's character is now dead, so like this is his new father figure in a way. I don't know. I just felt like that unspoken dynamic to Can's character that made him more kind of like let
And
you
when
into.
he gets a kid too, there's like some layers that kind of get opened up, but he's still just kind of a douche where he's like calling over
There's
the
only-
waiter to be like, "He's Davy now." It's like, thanks, buddy.
Yeah. He's definitely an asshole. The diner scene for me was one of the scenes where I was like, okay, this guy's got a little more depth. But I definitely feel what you're saying with like some of the scenes just feel more one note. Like, I mean, I don't think there's a scene without James Caan, so it's not unfair to be like, we're following this one guy, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
move on
Yeah,
to
but,
the
like,
next.
I still feel like besides the diner scene, I just like couldn't really pick up a lot of like I don't know. I guess like meaning or I don't know, stuff of makes him him. I guess I don't know.
I think
picture
his
he's got-
history
I
of
still didn't relate to his
prison.
character a lot, so I just didn't really. It just like was hard for me to understand his character.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mostly
that's-
understood
yeah,
him
okay.
through his like prison sentence, or like
Yeah.
through like who he
Mhm.
was after prison was kind of like who I engaged. That the level I gauged him at was like I
Yeah,
don't really know who he really stands for or whatever, but he's like at this stage of like thievery and
Yeah.
crime. And,
yeah.
whatever.
I mean, I love the diner scene because it lays out. He's like, I went in at 20 and came out at 30, and then you see the picture where it's like, these are all the goals that I have to catch up and get now.
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay, like I get why he's on this track. at
Okay,
least,
so
you
it's
know,
like my name is Earl kind of shit. Like I relate to. I can understand that. You know.
My name is Earl. What? I've never seen that
Mm,
show.
what?
It's over my head.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's got a list of stuff.
Sorry.
He's got a list of people he's got to reconcile. Anyways.
Oh, okay. That seems a little more
These-
wholesome and less
These
It is
deep
very
toxic.
cuts
wholesome.
tonight are just off the chain, man.
Bro, I'm telling you,
My
you got the
gosh.
cuts.
We got
I got the cuts.
We got the
man.
dongs. We got the
Yeah.
Earls.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's probably the deepest cut I'll ever have, honestly. The dongs. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My name is Earl, though. That just
People know
brought me
it.
back to my childhood. My
Yeah.
mom watching My Name is Earl.
Yeah, it
And
was
I'm
on
just
network TV. Yeah.
yeah. TBS, or was that USA? I think it was USA.
Is it?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it was
tell ya.
TBS.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shit,
Hang on.
They're all
Um,
around the same.
Yeah, they're all the
channels,
same. Yeah, they're in that area.
But I did find something interesting about our next movie. I just wanted to bring up. It's called Manhunter. It's based on the book Red Dragon.
Yeah, it's like
So if you know
what's the
what that
cannibal?
is, you'll know that Red Dragon is also a 2002 movie with fucking Anthony Hopkins. You know the fucking
Edward Norton.
The book Red Dragon fucking slaps too.
But,
In
like-
NBC is what it aired on.
NBC originally.
okay.
Yeah, so I guess I was just like curious. Should we watch both
The Keep and Manhunter.
Manhunter and Red Dragon?
Oh, well, isn't it just like part of the?
I mean, I know Red Dragon's not a Michael Mann movie, but
What the
I guess
fuck
what
is
I'm
the
saying-
name of the serial killer? The dude, I'm gonna eat your
I
little
can't think
father.
of it
Lecter?
either.
Hannibal Lecter?
Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah,
Yes.
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter. It's like just a part of that series, though, isn't it? So we'd have to watch like all like
I was
4 or
like,
5 or whatever.
maybe, but like,
I've never seen
Red
any of them.
Dragon, in my opinion, I read the book Red Dragon and watched the movie Red Dragon before I watched Silence of the Lambs. But
Do you
that
feel like
book
it added a
slaps.
lot to
Do you-
your
no,
watching
I think
experience?
Red Dragon's better like a book experience than Silence of the
Okay.
Lambs was a movie experience.
Okay.
If that
That's
makes
pretty,
sense.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. Yeah. Books being better than movies.
I don't
I
know.
get
I
that.
just remember Red Dragon actually being like fucking haunting. Some of the stuff that I read in there, and then watching Silence of the Lambs, I'm like, this isn't scary. There's just some dude jerking off in a fucking cage over here. Like,
Fucking Buffalo Bill.
it's just
what
another
the-
Tuesday for me.
Yeah.
Well, Red
Some
Dragon is
old
actually
fuck.
like a movie. It is. I think it's the sequel to Silence of the Lambs.
It is.
great
big fat girl or whatever you
Oh.
fucking say.
There's a
Yeah.
few of them throughout the years. I don't even know
There
what
is.
order it is. I mean,
Wow,
I
we-
don't
Let me see
know,
if I can find it.
I'll watch movies, but I'll do
I don't know,
it,
I was
but I
just
don't
curious.
need to.
That's
Because
I
I don't
mean,
know,
Silence
for
of the
like
Lambs
the
is a
same
big
thing,
one
I
that
just,
I've not seen, so I'd be down to do
Oh
that.
yeah.
Silence of the Lambs came out in 1991. Hannibal came out in 2001.
Hannibal Rising.
That came
Is
out in
that-
2007.
Is that one?
That's the last one, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. And then Red Dragon in between those.
I think so. Yeah.
Dang, okay. That's a full ass franchise.
Oh, God.
going on.
5 films regarding Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, and the TV show. So I mean, we got some work to do, boys.
I mean, I don't really want to do that. But, you know.
The
I mean,
TV
I don't
show,
even know how much
potentially the
Red
best of them.
Dragon has to
Yeah, I've heard you say that
So
you really
good.
like it.
So good. If you're looking for some dark, grungy shit, Alex, and you haven't watched the Hannibal TV show,
I need
give it a
to.
go.
Maybe I need to
Yes.
stop rewatching shit and actually watching it. Like I
feel-
finally
I feel
watched
that.
Eastbound and Down, and I'm like, I'm glad
Nice.
I got to this. It fucking is hilarious.
I've been
Hell
thinking
yeah.
that about like
Wait, have you not seen it
Justified.
before?
No,
I thought you
no,
all had seen it.
I've seen
No.
that one. Yeah, I'm watching Gemstones right now. I'm caught up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
It's good.
Same.
I started rewatching it with
Yeah.
Becca, and now I'm fucking trapped in like season 1. that we
Yeah,
go back
that'll
to
happen.
rewatch.
we have forgotten about the masterpiece known as Thief,
Yeah,
written and
okay.
directed by Michael Mann.
Moving
Gentlemen,
back to Thief.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
Where,
But we were on nitpicks. Any other nitpicks? I have one
Okay.
more that I got to bring up to the group, but
I got none. I'm
Yeah.
happy with my viewing experience.
We got that.
Give it to me
this is a
twice on
question-
Sunday.
this is a question just general and like kind of like what happens after this movie to this guy? Does he just go back to prison?
A new life, man.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
murdered.
This,
like,
this reminded
I
me
guess,
so
like-
much of.
he took that like 70 G's from the mob, so maybe he just fucking bounces. I don't know.
Nobody
He's got a
knows who this
plan.
guy is though. Like, maybe it's just like the modern time we live in, where it's like 70 witnesses would have seen this guy murder these
This
people.
is the 70s,
Yeah.
man. All right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're good. He's chilling.
He's
fuck
walking
'em.
away, man. Nobody
No, I
cares.
think this is the 80s. This is 1981.
It's early.
All right.
It's
It's
early.
the 80s, man.
Who's in office then?
Fuck
Since-
'em.
Still.
All right, nobody gives a
Gotcha.
shit. They're like, oh, some guy just shot up a house in the suburbs. Another fucking Wednesday afternoon. Who gives a
Yeah,
fuck?
and it is like in Chicago. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know what suburb, but you know,
Yeah.
hey, you know.
Hey, all right. You got me.
Well,
you
I
got me
mean,
on that.
Matt, that was kind of why I wanted like the
Honestly, I hear
the
shit all the
police
time. I'm
angle,
like, is that
where it's like,
justified?
shouldn't there be like, this guy's not out of 10 years of jail? Like, should there be a little surveillance on like a safe cracker guy? You know, I don't know,
Yeah.
like a high profile thief.
A
I
cop
don't
who
know.
like knows he's
It's supposed to
like.
be.
Well, like I guess like if there's a cop following him in this case or whatever, he's gonna stumble upon however many bodies he just racked up, and then he's gonna be like, "I wonder who did this." Like maybe it was
Well,
the
to be-
thief guy. Like
to be
No
fair-
shits. Yeah.
To be fair, he was only arrested for stealing $40. He was sentenced
Yeah.
a longer time for self-defense manslaughter.
well,
So
it's-
like,
I'm just saying
it's
like
not like,
the
and then he
cop-
learned
Okay.
everything about being a master thief while in the prison system from Willie Nelson.
That's
but isn't
true.
the cop
So-
like
Okay,
tracking him
I didn't think about that.
outside of
After
prison?
he hooks up with Leo, though, like after he hooks up with Leo, then he becomes a target.
Okay, I'm just saying he's connected. And then
He- I mean,
if
he
any
is.
cop who's good at their job is investigating, they'd be like, "Oh, it's maybe we should at least talk to that guy."
No,
Yeah.
I see what you
Yeah.
guys are saying, but
I-
I'm
I
saying he
can agree.
wasn't a master thief when they locked him up and when he was released. He was never like identified as a master thief. He learned all
So
That-
he's living in
okay.
In the
disguise.
prison.
He's
That
like
pokes-
mini
Yeah,
the
Dexter.
whole
But I also
theory.
was
I
thinking
thought he was
that-
like well known.
I thought he
when he
went
went in.
just like after, and I did look up his age. I mean, James Caan was 41 apparently when he filmed this. So, which not saying like that's how old the character is, but like
No, yeah.
realistically, maybe he's been out of prison for 10 years and been like learning the skills. I didn't know. So
I
does he
think he's been
actually?
out of prison for what was it? Was it 7 years or some shit like that? I forget. Or was it just?
Oh, I didn't think that.
I don't know. It was a short. There was a short time span that he was out of prison. I think I might have read it.
I don't remember hearing it.
I guess the problem I have, if he did learn all of his skills in prison from Willie Nelson, he doesn't have practical experience. Like, it's not like he has hands-on experience using tools and shit.
But that's what he showed you in the first 10 minutes of this thing, like saying this guy is honed the craft. He
Put it
is
to use.
a
He
safe
has
cracker.
skills now, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like just, I don't know. It's like just like going to college and just like learning all of the shit, like the theory of stuff, and then like practically doing it. So like he would have to like just learn all the skills on his own, which is like possible, I guess. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if Willie
I
Nelson
get
did
your
teach
stand.
him, he wouldn't have the first-hand experience after like he got out of prison, because then, I mean, unless he just walked into prison and asked him, I guess, which he does do, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it just seems like, I don't know.
Well, if he's been out for 7 years, then maybe where we
practicing.
enter at the movie is like, you know, the end of this. He's been at it for 7 years. You know,
Yeah.
cracking
Yeah.
smaller
At it,
jobs, doing smaller
obviously.
jobs and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. I
Or-
think
We can look at it this way.
shit.
It's just 80s, man. It's the 80s. Fuck 'em,
Thieving was
all
a
right?
lot easier back then too. Honestly, dude.
Yeah.
You just have to smash the box and open
Yeah, no
whatever,
fucking
get the diamonds.
computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. So
You just
Nor
go to
do
the
I
local
say-
Denny's and just, you know, sauce your diamond dealer up, and you're just like, hey,
Yeah.
man, hold out your hand. I'll take a coffee, ma'am. You know? It's like, oh, those are pretty. Where'd you get those? Stole them from down the street.
Oh yeah.
You want in?
It's the 80s.
Crazy morning.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
Yep.
Actually, make it a
okay.
double shot of espresso.
Yeah, can I have a grand slam?
All right. Let's go back to the highest of highs then. What were the best scenes of the movie?
Diner scene?
That was one I had down. Yeah, the
Had the
diner
intro
scene and
scene.
like the big score. Intro
Hmm.
scene.
Yeah. I thought the intro
Yeah.
scene was kind of like a
It-
peak for sure.
It captures you
I
without a
liked
doubt.
all of those.
It brings you in.
I'd say the intro or the diner scene, they were pretty good.
Nice.
I mean, for the big score, like where it's like the final job, I was kind of like, they're really just fucking blowtorching this thing.
Yeah.
Like
All right.
they just light a piece of metal or whatever it is and blowtorch the safe open. I was like, all right, shit. I was kind of looking forward to like, I don't know, the
Some, like,
high tech
listening
thievery you
and,
might
like,
expect. Yeah,
getting
yeah,
clicks in there. Yeah.
yeah. But I was like, all right, well, maybe at this point I should just be like, it's a man movie.
It's the 80s, man.
Brute Force
Yeah,
3 Station.
fuck
Yeah, it's
'em,
the
man,
80s.
it's the
Yeah.
I know you guys aren't Pantera enjoyers, but like this reminded me a lot too of like you can tell the guy who did Den of Thieves and Den of Thieves 2 loves Michael Mann movies and heist movies because like Heat and this movie are just super all over those.
Yeah, for
Like
sure,
I'm
I
not
see
gonna
that.
get pinched by you guys. I mean that's the first Den of Thieves. He's not cuffing up, you know. So
True.
Yeah,
very true.
anyway,
Well, that brings us over to Clever Girls then. A couple of mine. I would say the soundtrack is really energetic in this and propels a lot. Very electric, ahead of its time in a way, I'd say. And then just a note I really love. I don't think it's the actor, but maybe it is and I'm wrong. But like I really love Khan's scar in the movie.
Yeah.
Just adds like that layer of like
Gives him some
mystery to the
character.
past, and like clearly
Yeah.
he's got this edge for some reason. Maybe this is a factor, you know. So pretty
Mhm.
cool look.
definitely.
Looks pretty badass.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was like just James Caan or if added in as a
Yeah.
character, but I was
Yeah.
kind of like I'd seen James Caan in older or later movies, and I was like,
I don't think he has it, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
does he? Okay,
I
I
don't
didn't think he did.
Oh,
I
here's
don't
one.
think so. I'm thinking back to Elf right now.
Yeah,
And,
that's the first
Right,
thing I was
right.
thinking of.
I can't see it.
I think it's just for this movie.
Yeah, and I like that
That makes
touch. If
sense.
it is, that's cool.
Here,
Yeah.
look.
I had a couple things for Clever Girl. I think that throwing us directly into the story by like our expo dump was him cracking the safe for the first 10 minutes and laying us out into like thief life by night or criminal by
Yeah.
night, honest man by day type situation. I thought that was cool. And I think that it stuck to its guns all the way to the end by him, like, when he's made, and he doesn't try to fix it. He just knows, so he has to go to his, like, exit plan. And he doesn't, like,
Yeah.
explain to his wife at the time. He's not like, hey, this is what's happening. He's just basically like, this, you gotta go, like, leave.
Yeah.
And, like, all the way through to the very end, he's just, this is his plan. He's gonna execute it because that's how he's wired.
Yeah.
Most movies are scared to do shit like that for
Yeah, that's
angry
fair.
viewers. So
Hell yeah.
Nowadays, you have to have like the girlfriend character like
Yeah.
pull out a gun too, and,
right,
like
exactly.
wait outside and then get that final shot somehow.
Yeah.
That's like,
Or, like, really-
I just
really
watched
fight
Working
him,
Man,
save
and
him.
like the captured girl in Working Man that he's hunting down is like also a pseudo like badass, and she like kind of kicks her ass out of some situations, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, he is supposed to be saving her,
Even
but
though
she doesn't
she's
need
works
saving.
at a diner and shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She does jujitsu on the weekends, dude. Don't
It's
Yeah,
fucking-
you're
something.
right.
We'll make it
My
work.
bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Your double feature? Are we moving on?
Yeah. My Clever Girl was the book thing. I said that before.
Oh
The
yeah,
book
yeah.
and the police
That's a good
station.
note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny and cool.
Yes.
I have double features. I actually do have Den of Thieves on here, Alex. I was like, the
Yeah.
vibes
Very good.
are there. And it's
That's what I was thinking.
And was it? Yeah. It's just like Den of Thieves is just like a later. I don't know. Maybe this one ran so these other ones could walk or strike that, reverse it.
Nice.
Baby Driver was my other one.
That's a good one. For sure.
Yeah.
Because it's another kind of like focused solely on Baby trying to get him and his
Yeah.
girl out of the game kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Both worlds of
Yeah.
the. Yeah. That's probably
Yeah.
the most direct one, honestly. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I just had Blade Runner visually. It linked early, but I think you could pair it with like Harrison Ford's kind of type of character as well. And I just had Scarface,
see that.
another easy
Hell yeah.
crime one to watch.
I had True Romance
Chilled.
just because I think Tony Scott's a good match for Michael Mann, like in terms of vibe, kind of like
It's
the
a nice
Macho
little
Man.
like two sides of the coin, kind of
Yeah.
different flavors, but yeah, for sure.
Definitely. And then, of course, I think Heat would be a great double feature for this.
Well, that's
You
good
guys-
news, baby.
I can't wait. I'm so.
Excited.
I think I'm getting too hyped up because I'm afraid now. Like, I feel like I'm coming out of the gates like super horny for Michael Mann, and everyone here is just kind of like, yeah, he's good, So,
Well, I
a
was
good
like
start,
worried after Jericho Mile. I was like, oh fuck, man, like this is what we're in for. But Thief, I was like, let's see what we got coming. And I know Collateral's good. We watched Collateral not too long ago, so
Collateral
I know there's some bangers waiting.
Yeah. Not really worried. I'm excited still. So let's finish up Thief. Could a TikToker watch it?
No.
2 out of 10. 2 out of
Yeah,
fucking 10, dude. No.
That's what
That's
I
what I
put
have.
two as well. Yeah.
This
Alright.
movie
For some reason,
exudes
I
like
put yes.
what?
That's
How?
my gut instinct. But I don't really know.
How?
Hmm.
Guess I feel like they're always just like the opposite of me.
Right. Just follow the opposite instinct of whatever I'm thinking right now. That's got to be some weird shit.
Don't go with your gut, Joe. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it makes
When
sense.
it comes to
Honestly.
TikTok, avoid your gut. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I said this movie exudes an old film feel. Like it's very
Mhm.
grainy and very looks
Oh, yeah.
and feels like an old movie, which is not good for TikTok people, I'd say. And I'm think this is maybe a factor that I'm going to play every time now. It's about a middle-aged white dude.
Yeah,
I just
kids
don't
care
think.
about that.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to
Yeah.
happen. They don't care.
You think
Nope.
like because the wokeness? What do you? What
No,
are you
they're
saying?
just
They don't
like
care?
young people don't want to watch a movie about a middle-aged 40-year-old white dude. Like it's
Mm,
like
yeah.
they
Okay,
literally are
okay.
just like fuck that old man. Like I want to think about chicken jock.
Yeah.
No.
My kids in my class would call him bald headed because of his receding hairline.
Really?
They call me bald headed because
Dude,
I
that's
have.
Brutal.
Damn,
Yeah.
these kids are
That's so
savage.
mean. Yeah.
I
Gotta
mean,
lay it
I'm
back
like,
to them somehow, right? Like fuck. You're the kid. You know they made the show Adolescence because of you fuckers. Like
Yeah, well, believe me, I have. He was recently arrested and now is in juvie. But yeah, we had one of those.
damn,
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
Sarah had him for 2 years actually.
that's crazy.
She's the reason he's
That's-
finally gone. Anyway,
Shit.
Kids these days, man.
Goddamn.
Adolescence, great show. If you haven't watched it, I don't know if we talked about it yet.
absolutely.
Check it out. Been popping up in my feed.
All right, sequel, prequel, remake.
No, leave it.
Yeah?
Don't do it.
I can see a
Remake
remake.
is shit.
I can see a remake.
No.
Not that I
why
don't
not,
think it's like
man?
bad. Like, I just like
Hey.
they're
It's over 40 years old. It's time. They can remake that shit. They've remade
They
stuff.
could,
They're making,
but they
remaking fucking
shouldn't.
Harry Potter. They're remaking
Yeah.
fucking everything. Like,
Dude,
they've remade
yeah, I
so
heard
much
about
shit.
that.
It's
The,
like,
the difference between Thief and Harry Potter is Thief is good. You know, remake Harry Potter. Maybe
Harry
you can
Potters
do
are
better. on
good,
that.
man.
I love Harry
Come
Potter.
on.
I'm not gonna watch that new fucking HBO bullshit. I'll tell you that.
spoken as a
But
true
yeah.
Amen.
fucking
I guess what I'm
Slytherin
just saying
man.
is like, I don't know. If they did end up remaking this movie, I wouldn't be upset, right?
Nah, I feel that they're trying to do a Heat sequel already as a prequel. They're trying to remake Scarface. I think it's possible. Like they remade Roadhouse, and that's like it's different,
Is
way
it
different,
best?
but like it's still like kind of works in my opinion. So it's not like I would be like mad. At
Roadhouse. Yeah, I'll agree with you. That one works, even though the first one is like very cool. Very
that's some
fucking
80s.
cool.
That's some crazy fucking
Yeah.
macho 80s shit right there. Hell yeah.
That is, yeah.
Alright.
But yeah, I think Jake
Yeah, I
Gyllenhaal
hope-
brings some spice to it. McGregor
like,
tries to
I'm
tank
not
the movie,
mad
but
at
Gyllenhaal.
The attempt of the remake. So I think like
Yeah.
if you do have these movies and you try something a little spicy, a little different, like I think I'll be there for it.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Man, I don't know.
Uh,
Now I'm thinking
Yeah,
of
I
just
don't
like
know.
these Amazon movie remakes from the 80s that they're just. It was that, and then I think there was also a remake of that just like jumped into my head. We watched it with Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. Cannot
White Man Can't
White
Jump?
Man, yeah.
White Man Can't
Didn't
Jump.
they remake that? And it was like fucking
Jack Harlow,
terrible.
bro. I didn't watch it.
Jesus
I don't know.
Christ.
I guess
Me
I'm
neither.
just saying, like, not everything. Yeah, I don't know. I guess
Yeah, it's got to be
if it
right.
would be like that, I would not like it.
It's
Hey,
got to be the right
yeah.
combination of people and what.
Jack Harlow was in another Apple TV movie, so
Yeah,
he's coming up.
yeah.
he's
So
got
you
a
could just
bright
get Michael Mann to remake it,
future.
right?
I think-
guess.
I think
Sure.
80s is my highest rated decade on Letterboxd, so I
Uh-huh.
think Michael Mann just hits that sweet spot for me because like
Okay.
he just lives in the 80s. I
I
think.
think you need to try cocaine, dude. You'll love it.
You know,
Yeah.
I think so. I think this is my arc. You know, I have
Yeah,
two newborn
Well,
kids.
Embrace the
I-
80s,
We'll get
embrace the
Spanish
energy.
We'll set you up in the stock market.
I'll get some yeah, some booger sugar, and I'll just
Just fucking
I'll
go
live out
for
my
it, man.
20s in my
Yeah.
30s. So
You'll be watching
Yeah,
Thief and
buy a
Heat every
motorcycle.
day, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna be needing this fucking energy.
Wall Street.
fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the theme here? Hmm?
Oh, see, I forgot
Mm.
about it.
You
I
forgot
gotta
what movie
scroll
we're
back up
talking
to my
about. We're
notes.
I
talking
put
about
risk
TikTok.
and reward. That was a big one for me. Risk and versus reward. What
Yeah.
are you willing?
Alright.
What are you willing to risk to get what you want to get? And on top of that is like pursuing your end goal. Again, I know that was
Yeah.
for Jericho Mile too. So
Nah,
maybe,
man. That's
maybe
the
Man's
themes we're
doing some
seeing
similar
here.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Because mine, it actually worked better when it was at the beginning because it's the next category, which
Oh,
was shoot
yeah?
your shot.
Huh.
Yeah,
What a,
just
what a
specifically for
coincidence.
this one because the theme I found in the movie
Fuck,
was shoot your
Matt.
shot.
You were the one who wanted to change it.
Yeah,
I
keep
should've-
coping.
I
Keep
should've done
coping.
it. We should have left it all where it was. But honestly, though, shoot your shot. Like, he's literally just going for it, doing his fucking thing, and like, that's kind
Yeah.
of the gist of it.
Yeah, mine's
Hell
similar.
yeah.
Cut the bullshit. Bullshit only gets in the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's eliminated all the bullshit by the end of it.
You know, if I didn't write anything down because I don't really know, but I think what I would go with is the risk versus reward one. I like that one the best. Or at
Yeah.
least that resonates with me the most.
Nice. I did have a question that I forgot to ask though, which was in the character stuff. Also, a category is James Caan a buttermaker? Should he actually be allowed around his child?
Probably not, just considering that he was just like,
Yeah.
this guy was like, I could get a baby for you. And he was like, cool. I want a boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he definitely walks
Is
that
he the
line.
buttermaker or
Yeah.
is the woman who sells them the baby? Should she be the buttermaker?
Huh.
Yeah.
Because think about it. James Caan
Could they
was
both?
Yeah, I think
a
both.
child
Yeah.
of the system.
Both
So
horrible
like
people. Yeah.
he knows that these babies need homes, but they won't give it to him. So
Yeah.
like he's just giving this other baby. You know what? Final answer: Buttermaker is the woman selling the baby.
I'm on James Caan's side, honestly, because he also named his kid Davy, as in like Davy Jones. Like, what the fuck, James Caan? You get away from that child.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
All right, he's
Yeah.
really dedicated. Let's wrap it up. Star power. What you guys giving Thief?
I landed on 4. It was close for 3.5 and 4, but I landed on 4.
3.5.
I went with 3.5.
Yeah. Hey, I ended on 4.
That
I
is
was like,
where
you know
I
what?
landed, yeah, 3.5.
Oh my
I thought
God.
about. It just didn't. I wish it grabbed me. You know, it
I
never
was
got there.
surprised when I got onto Letterboxd and like the average is like 4.1.
It's high.
And I was just like, I don't
Yeah,
know. I
it
mean,
is.
not that I didn't like it. I just didn't think it was that good, you know? Like, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I just
Maybe
I don't
in
know.
I was feeling
rewatches.
that through the whole movie, and then you get into that gunfight scene in Leo's house, and he gets shot. And when the music dropped, when he shoots the guy with the Tommy gun, there's like the music kicks in right there, and it's like some. I was just like,
pretty badass.
I was like, this is. I was like, yeah, this is
Pretty
the
badass.
'80s badass. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
God damn, like they fucking got me at the end here.
That's
like,
true.
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, I felt like almost exactly the same.
yeah, I was like, okay, you fucking sold me. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he walks
Yeah.
away like nothing, you know. I'm like, all right, this guy's
Yeah, just
fucking
walks down
cool.
this fucking sidewalk.
Yeah. Throws his
Yeah.
fucking thing out the window.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
magazine.
Yeah, his little
fucking
picture, his little
thing. Yeah. I don't know.
yeah, Torches cars. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe we're missing the hype train on this one. It kind of reminds me of Don't Look Now. We watched that a while back, where it's like very
Oh, yeah.
critically acclaimed.
Oh,
To be fair, I gave it 5 stars. So I am on the hype train.
Okay.
Thief. I'll ride for Thief.
All
Nice.
right.
I'm like a couple cars behind you, Alex, but I feel it.
Well,
might
I
catch
mean,
up.
even second watch as I was watching it, I even went back and watched like specific scenes on my break today at school, and I'm like, this. I don't know. I like it. It moves a lot faster on second watch.
Yeah,
but-
it is
Okay.
kind of like nicely paced.
But-
Cool.
Any other thoughts on Thief before we wrap this one up?
I'm looking forward to more Michael Mann, personally.
Same.
I am too. Have you heard of this next movie called The Keep?
I've heard of it.
No.
Apparently,
Yes. Heard. Yes.
I mean,
Know
like,
anything
I don't
of
know.
it?
I don't want to
No.
get too deep into the description here. It just says it's a supernatural horror film set in
I
World
like
War
it.
II.
Okay.
But it takes
Yeah.
place in like Romania, specifically a stone fortress in the Carpathian Mountains.
This
Is
is
that
some weird shit.
do those words sound familiar to you? The Carpathian
Vigo,
Mountains?
Vigo is waiting there.
Vigo.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
like, are there vampires in this? Like, is this
Hey
some
man,
Dracula
the keep
shit?
castle.
Or
Yeah.
like, I don't know, because I
Romania?
mean
Right?
that's
Right.
like the fucking area, you know, the Carpathian Mountains. They have to go through the fucking
Yeah.
Carpathian Mountains to get to like. his
We're just
castle.
on like a vampire like binge.
I mean, I
this
guess,
last
yeah.
year, man.
I don't know. I don't
Stop.
know if it's actually because I don't want to delve any deeper, but like from just like glance, it doesn't look like it's a vampire thing. I don't know. I could be wrong though.
Just from
So I guess
glance.
we'll see.
Halfway through, you never
Not
know.
really what I was expecting either after Thief, if it is a
Yeah.
vampire thing.
Yeah, it is a left turn for him. Should we do just the keep, or should we do another double? What you guys feeling on this?
I'm good with whatever. We could do the keep
yeah,
and the movie twist if you want. Here, let me see.
broke
Yeah,
out the
because
chest.
the comic's gonna be a little shorter. So
Yeah, he doesn't have that many, so I'm down to go one by one if you guys are trying to do that.
yeah,
Cool.
it looks
We
like
can-
we have 10 left.
Okay, we can talk
10.
like a little catch up next week, unless you guys want to do it tonight. Just on stuff we're watching or watched in the last few weeks. Then maybe another
Yeah,
movie
try.
chest.
Sounds good to me.
Cool.
I'm good to catch up. I mean, I don't know how you guys are feeling, but I have early morning to wake up to, personally. But I mean, I can hang. I mean, I'm still cool.
I could totally. Hey, it's not mine. I can help.
I don't get. Yeah.
Old man.
If you wanna, yeah. How about we just watch The Keep and then we'll talk about what we've been watching.
Yeah,
We'll
take
just
it
spend
easy.
much time.
Had a heavy episode this week, so come back next week. Some other shit.
Yeah.
Can also do. I was thinking like maybe our most anticipated movies of the year. / we also
yeah.
could do our summer rankings if we want to do rankings for summer movies
Man.
again.
One movie
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed about, actually. Not like it's preemptive disappointment because the Eddington trailer, like teaser trailer, drops.
That sucked.
Oh,
Dude,
I liked it.
I'm expecting another Beau's Afraid, like, or not necessarily like the same vibe, but the quality, like what it will be. You know what I mean? The same
That's fair.
feeling I got watching Beau's Afraid, I feel like I'm gonna get from this. It's like, I don't know.
It's potential.
Maybe,
Yeah,
I don't want to
potentially.
like. I don't know. I guess
I think it's
maybe
going to be a little
have
more
any
biting, a little more focused. That's my hope.
I'm
I
just like
guess.
not interested in the premise.
Yeah.
Me either, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just sucks because I love like his first two movies, and I just want him to make good shit.
Keep an open
Hey,
mind. Keep an open mind.
Yeah.
I do have to say, hey Noah, if you want to get rid of one battle after another,
Anytime.
I'll
One
take it
battle
off your
after
hands.
another? You're talking about Battle of
Maybe.
Beckton Cross?
It got
yes.
renamed to that.
Wait,
Yeah.
Also, does anybody
Oh, it
have
got
Bringer
renamed to that.
back?
So if
That's,
you're willing to like give it up for something,
Look.
you let me know.
I don't
We'll
know,
talk.
man. That's my Oscar. Just yeah.
Noah
yeah,
has Bring
There's
Her
gotta be
Back,
something
by the
juicy
way,
on the
Joe.
table, man. I don't know.
The problem is the only thing juicy that I have is my juiciest of the juicy, and I can't get rid of that. So
Okay.
Well,
you
just
did.
if you're feeling generous one day, if you're like, maybe it won't be so good. It's almost 3 hours long. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
That's
already
gonna play
missed
well at
out
the
on
Oscars,
Sinners
though,
because
man.
I didn't want to get rid of my Final Destination, and I think I fucked that up.
I don't know. I haven't had that many movies come out either, so it's like,
Yeah, mine are just now
like
coming out.
I might want to hold on to some of these later ones and see how my ones in the summer come out and do, and then maybe we can talk. But I'll
well,
keep
I'm
you-
also
I'll keep
jealous, Matt. Weapons, if you want to get rid of that.
Dude, that's my only horror bet now.
Yeah, I know, but I can give you. We can maybe talk Bloodlines, okay?
No, yeah.
So
Maybe
just-
when I see a trailer for Bloodlines, and
you haven't seen the trailer yet?
there's a trailer?
Don't watch it. It might discourage you.
Oh fuck. Okay, well, yeah, we'll see.
I mean, it's a Final Destination trailer. So.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, though, I did see that Weapons teaser trailer, and I was like, "Yes, my dude."
Yeah,
like,
right. It
let's
does
go.
look kind of sick, doesn't it?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm looking for like the guy who just made Barbarian.
Right. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like, I mean,
Interesting,
final thought for me, I guess, before we wrap it up is like, it's kind of like a heyday at the moment. I know everybody's like tripping out about like movies being dead or whatnot, but like if there's a future that we can find here, there's like several young creators that are like peaking, like Coogler,
Yeah.
Peel. I would say Zach Cregger's
Yeah.
on that list, like Greta Gerwig, all these people
There-
are like in the prime of their
there's
fucking careers.
Yeah, I think it really just like
Yeah.
depends. I don't know on the area.
There's some rays of
what
hope.
it is.
Yeah.
Faux show.
Man,
Well,
I went to go see Speed Racer last week. Just
what?
in the theater near me.
Bro.
And,
Dude, I actually
I had
fucking
never
love
seen
that
it
waiting.
before, actually. Fucking insane. It was sold out, and it was all
Yeah.
people like my age. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, but I actually
Bro.
fucking loved it. It
I'm
was
jealous
actually-
of that.
Dude.
man.
It was fun
Hell
because
yeah.
like everybody was like, everybody in there like knows it's fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. yeah.
I
Dude,
don't
the
know, yeah, it was
visuals. I
actually
need to
pretty
see
good
that
time.
on the big screen. That's like one of my goals. That's
Yeah.
fucking sick.
Yeah. That's a stunner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie. That's so fun.
Hell yeah.
You ever seen it?
No.
Give it
I
a
hadn't
go.
either. So like, I don't know.
Take an Adderall and get on that ADHD level, and
Yeah.
really fucking just watch that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Shall we sign off, boys?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Chill thing.
Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week. We'll talk some more movies. Have a good one.